Second in. What's the play here, Jono? Check side, drop punt. He's a fair way out, but he can launch a hook, Jeremy Cameron, but he's not setting up for that. Could be a long check or pure drop punt.
Jeremy Cameron to take the shot from the pocket. Good looking effort. And in his milestone game, Chesa in 250 gets things underway.
I don't know if we can speak to how hard that kick is and how easy Jeremy Cameron just made that look. That looks so simple. He's done it every day of his career, and maybe that's the case. As we have a look here on the replay, they've just done pretty well to hold him in. I'm not sure there's a lot of prior there, but to kick that from the boundary like Jeremy Cameron just did, Jono, that's just an absolutely amazing goal.
Go square! Go square! So ball bounce back in the middle. Tapped down by Stanley. Dangerfield able to soccer the ball forward. Cats have made a good start. It's taken away. Stanley sends the ball inside 50. Bouncing ball. Taken away by Cox. He's under the pump. Cats swarming again. Dempsey can soccer it from the goal square. Cats have got the first two and made a lightning start.
Yeah, well, centre bounce clearance for the Cats, and just that forward momentum as well, and that's a perfect response after what was a brilliant goal from Jeremy Cameron to kick there first, go back in the middle of the ground. Stanley with the follow-up, but it's just a kick to space inside 50, hits the deck, and they go to work pressure again. Third tackle inside forward 50 already, and just a little one off the boot there. You see Dempsey just tracking the ball, numbers everywhere for the Cats, and a nice finish as well. Perfect start away from home.
Well, that's right, John. This is a huge trip for them, and to come over here, you need to start well at Optus Stadium because the crowd gets right up and about it. The start that Geelong have had with Ollie Dempsey, who's the favourite for the Rising Star, and you can see why. He's a really, really good player.
Back in the centre. As the ball's knocked down, Dangerfield able to take it away. Stabs that pass out towards half forward. And it's picked up now by Ollie Henry, twisting and turning. Cats looking good. Into the pocket they go. And it's away and out of play. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
Another centre bounce clearance there to Geelong. They are owning field position at the moment.
They are dominating early here, the Cats. First couple of goals of the game. Slap forward in the ruck. Would go back out of play again.
Plenty of numbers down here from a Fremantle perspective defensively. Can't allow the Cats through the contest. Got some dangerous players. Stengel, Manners in good form as well. Henry.
On start by Geelong. Jackson in the ruck. Couldn't quite get it out of there. Wagner, now Walker, wrapped up by Atkins. A game with so much on the line. Top four spots available. And Geelong away from home. Lost their last three against Fremantle. Jackson able to knock it down. Fife. Handball out. Chapman took his time. Had a chance to get rid of it. Holding the ball.
They look shell-shocked at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers, and it was a clearance that they were done against Essendon late. It's been shown up there as we see the replay. The crowd's not happy. A glancing blow high, but they don't get called all the time, those.
Henry to take the set shot. Crowd not happy with the call. Henry, it holds its line, and the Cats are off to an absolute flyer.
Well, perhaps they're off to a flyer because of the pressure they're putting on inside forward 50. A little bit of loop on the handball from Fife as he has to get it over the top. And they're closed up once again. So the Cats are on from a forward perspective with their pressure defensively. And they've scored 3 goals because of it. And the conversion's been magnificent early on in this game. 2 set shots, one from the goal square.
That's 4 clearances to 1 to start the game. Geelong, no, that's an area that Fremantle have been vulnerable. You'd expect to bounce back. They need to get moving here. Freo being jumped by the Cats.
27th goal of the season for Ollie Henry. The pressure red hot from the Cats. There's 5 tackles inside 50. As Bose locks up Hayden Young.
Yeah, it's a different look too, and I'm loving the growth of the Cats midfield at the moment. Bose, Bruin, now Stewart are the 3 starting mids.
They go again, back in the middle. Bruin ducked ahead. The tackle came from 5. Spills out to Humphreys by hand. Now it's Tui. Hunting after it, Switkowski. Trying to get to the front. Bose was there too. Young fighting for it. Bose wrapped up. Crowd certainly invested. It'll be a ball up.
Yeah, they are. Perhaps they want it both ways here, the Freo faithful, but they're trying to get their game going, Freo, and they can't at the moment.
Jackson with a hit out. Young trying to get the clearance. Jackson goes back in again. Johnson back in the side this week. About 60 minutes in the waffle with a foot injury last week. Young's kick forward and Switkowski able to juggle it by hand. And he gets it away now to Wagner. Sold it back into trouble was Johnson. Now they try to go forward by hand again, but the Cats swarm. It's the way Fremantle love to play when they can get out and run with handball, but Geelong's certainly aware of that danger. Jackson and Stanley. The athletic match up in the ruck, and we'll get another stop.
Again, you look at the forwards for the Cats. Stendhal's up there, Manor in behind the contest, not allowing Freo to go back before moving forward with the ball.
Stanley the hit out. Bruin in and under. Fremantle just trying to slow things down after conceding the first 3.
Tom Stewart playing this really unique role where he starts on ball and then goes behind the plays. So he's sitting loose behind the footy at the moment.
Wagner emerge with it. Pokes the pass forward. Jackson just getting forward of centre. The overlap run comes. Johnson's kick goes inside 50. Banfield's there out the back. It spills to Blitzarves, and his handball was well enough to the boundary for Jack Henry to see it over and out. Really one of the first times we've seen the Dockers inside 50.
Yeah, and you saw Mark Blitzarves as well. He's the back, and you can see Tom Stewart on screen. So yeah, he's playing that role where he goes loose. Fremantle will need to round him up as a forward line to make sure they quell his dangerous nature.
I would love a settler, but it's Dempsey who can just clear the footy away. Pull the Cats back through the middle. Ryan's camped underneath it. Got it locked in their forward half. Out to Shah. A slow build-up for the home side. Walker. Searching for an option. Going to roll around and send it high and wide into the pocket, and the ball fisted away. The other interesting look will be, of course, no Josh Tracy there for Fremantle, who's been such a vital part of their forward line this season.
Yeah, well, he certainly has the competitive nature, his contested marks, not only inside forward 50, but that release player out of the back half as well, along the wings, which has started their ball movement and ball chains over the last few weeks.
In the ruck, Taberner put it on the boot. The high ball didn't quite have enough penetration on it. Johnson in to disrupt Duncan. Ball at feet. Amos couldn't get clear. And we'll get another stoppage deep in attack for Fremantle.
Set up well behind the footy here, Freo. They've got their wall set up. Luke Jackson pulls out.
Taberner doing the ruck work forward again. Dempsey lost the handball. Young trying to get on that left boot. Now it's with Fife. Found some room. Snapping at goal. Into the post.
A great step by Fife, just to give himself that 1 metre to have that shot at goal nearly executed perfectly.
They missed him around the ball last week, Jono, especially late in that last quarter.
The first score of the afternoon goes to Fremantle. Cats already 3 goals on the board. Now it's a bit of a push there, so we'll come back the way of the Cats. Crowd unhappy with the free kick out early stages. As around the boundary line they go, Geelong. Here's Cameron. He wanted the 50 with a player going past, but he'll just arc around on that left boot. Long penetrating kick. All the Dockers players are up. And out the back, it's Stanley. 4 goals goals to start proceedings for Geelong.
Well, there you go. It's the ruckman, Luke Jackson's man. We're going to watch this on the replay, and I want you to watch the coverage of the back of the contest. We know Jeremy Cameron's got a great leg forward. Jeremy Sharp just gets sucked in, and he leaves the back of the contest free. And whether it's at the top of the goal square like that or up the ground, you must give yourself cover as a back line. And Jeremy Sharp's the one there, but it's not really about him. You need to cover it off as an entire back line.
The other one too here is Dempsey. He's looking for the big fly. We know he can jump, but he reads that it's going over the back first out of every player in that contest. I love that. It's something that is a natural ability in the game, and Dempsey certainly got that.
A few weeks ago, I think the competition thought the Cats might have been done and dusted, but they have found a resurgence, and they have burst out of the blocks in the West. That ball bursting out of the centre circle, so we'll get a restart. And in the ruck, Blitzarves down Johnson. Get the handball moving forward. Voss is up in the middle for the Dockers with a high kick. A wobbly old one inside 50. Cleaned up by the Cats defence. Knocked away. Switkowski putting pressure on. Then landed back in his lap. He's looking laterally for a target. They've got numbers everywhere. O'Meara crashed in. He wasn't able to mark. Zach Guthrie back there. Handball away. Atkins, the Cats to the wing. And a bounce of the ball. Crowd want a deliberate call. Boundary throw in. Kath Lockman.
Sean Darcy, a very late out for Fremantle. He did take part in the warm-up. You can see his knee there was heavily strapped, and just coming off a 6-day break, he was no good. So a late out for those just tuning in.
And only watch on the retro cap upstairs. Sean Darcy. So a real reshuffle for the Dockers. Voss into the side, having to do some ruck work. Blitzarves battling there with Johnson. Atkins been busy. Voss was too high. They won't pay the advantage. Come back to Atkins.
Actually helps Fremantle with this ball coming back. Getting all their numbers back behind the ball now. Keeping Geelong wide. It's good vision, good lead up there from Brian Myers in behind the back of his opponent. Coming hard at the footy.
Myers didn't quite connect with that one. Lots of Dockers numbers back there. O'Meara in the air. They spoil each other as it comes to ground. Sarong clean. Chapman away to Clark. Out to half-back. Wasn't his best use of the football, and out of bounds on the full for the former Cap. Jack Henry stepping off the line, so has to come back out to Humphreys. Great story. Mature age recruit. Playing in a reserves premiership for Swan Districts last year. Gets his opportunity, and that's a kick. Hit it well that time, Myers, to pick out Dangerfield right where the 50 meets the boundary.
It doesn't look like Grant Myers should be able to hit targets, but we've seen him this year and over the last couple. Just that look away, brilliant by foot. That's just a great kick. Found Dangerfield in a metre of space.
Sometimes it can look messy, other times it can look very clean.
Okay, perhaps.
Hit it right on the 50. There's Dangerfield. Certainly got the distance, and it's smothered. Well read by Clark. And now he's off and away, the speedster. The former Geelong player. Now they can get out and run. It's what Fremantle like to do. Frederick ran an awfully long way. It was tackled over the line, and it's a non-call in the end. It's either run too far or probably holding the ball.
Well, the boundary line saved him in the end. Great smother from Clark. He had the handball over the top, and they've been good at the forward handball, Freo, but he didn't pull the trigger on it. They would have been able to go nicely inside forward 50.
Knocked down to the front by Blitzarves. Fremantle working their way back into it. The Cats couldn't take it through Dangerfield. Voss, he was held by Manor. Again, the crowd want a free kick. They know what's on the line in this game. The top four spot up for grabs. Little fumble from Sarong. Able to recover. Now it's Ryan. Can go very wide, but places the kick well for Sturt. Too far out, you'd think. Is a long kick. Good entry, but it's just in the bootlaces of Amos. Back to Sturt. He can reload. Hooks it back to the hot spot. Wants a fire. It's Sarong! The smallest one in there almost. He and Manor having a fight for it. And Caleb Sarong marks inside 50.
We've seen this a couple of times now. Switkowski was the first one earlier in the quarter, and then this time Sturt. Smart play. Geelong got numbers back, so they're trying to find the best available. That's wrong. Overhead marking, contested marking, not really something we know him for, but he's able to do it there.
Sarong directly in front. A shaky start from Fremantle. As Sarong steps up with a steadier.
Well, as you'd expect, he's leading the way in terms of possessions and needing to get going from a Fremantle point of view, with Sarong now with 5 and this one working well inside forward 50. Just flowing in with the ball. The kick comes his way in the end. He was in a good spot too to hit the contest front and square if it had gone deep as well. But it was an excellent kick in the end from Sturt, because the Cats had their numbers back in the goal square, shaped it back. Dangerous spot. Great mark by Sarong.
So Fremantle have even up around the ground, 7 all with stoppages. So they're now getting a little bit more forward momentum and field position. It's, it's ended as a goal, but they're fighting their way back into this game for it.
So Sarong's 7th goal of the season. And they'll get the centre clearance. Brayshaw able to bounce off. And hook a high ball towards the 50. Holmes couldn't mark. Spills away. 5. Trying to use his strength. Spills. Dempsey. Kolajasny. Now for Holmes. Back for Dempsey. Stolen away by Fremantle. And pressing Fife. Bullocked his way through. Took an opponent with him as Brayshaw's taken to the turf.
First touch for Brayshaw in that centre bounce. So hopefully that gets him going, because they need it. Look at the pressure difference in this game.
Wow.
That's why the Cats have got a 3-goal lead.
There's a huge discrepancy. Cats came to play right from the opening bounce. Fremantle have just settled into the game a bit more, getting their hands on the footy. As Draper goes back to Walker.
Geelong got a really strong man-on-man focus on turnover here for Freo. Just looked up and Geelong were man-on-man all over the ground as soon as they won that back.
Sharp's kick was just too short for Brayshaw, putting themselves under pressure. Dempsey gets it out of there. Dangerfield on the boot. Quick ball goes inside 50. Well read by Stengel. Walker. It's going to be a great battle as it goes to the boundary.
You're right, that's going to be a sensational battle throughout the entire afternoon. We know what Tyson Stengel can do. He's had a sensational year for the Cats. And then obviously Walker with his run and drive off half-back versus when to leave and when to hold against the dangerous Tyson Stengel.
17-point lead to Geelong in this first quarter. Jackson gets it down. Atkins away. Myers can be crafty. Just found enough room to snap to goal and clear the line. We wait on the call.
Score review. Umpire's call is touched or clear one behind. Please confirm.
Review underway.
What an effort by Jeremy Sharp. He holds that width so well as a winger. It looks touched, Jono.
Yeah, it looks like they might have to go back one more frame, because he might have touched it a little bit earlier than what we're seeing.
Close one, this one.
It is very tight. Soft call was a behind.
The question is whether that's definitive or not.
Looks like it may have cleared before he gets a fingertip on it, but it's so close.
Not sure if we have the vision here to say that that's definitely a goal, although it looks like it clears it the first time, and then if it's bouncing, it looks to be across the line.
It does.
This was a call.
But that
goal
one
first
there,
up. Yeah.
here we go. So part of the ball is still on the line.
This could be a goal here, boys.
Yep.
Is he touching it?
When that happens, yes, exactly, Paps, and that's why it's so tough to call.
Review complete. Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine whether the ball was touched before or after the goal line. Decision on scoreboard.
So insufficient evidence. I'm not sure if that's democracy manifest or not, but we see that it will stay as a behind. The Cats might have been robbed of one there.
Well, they could be, and that's where the umpire's call is so important in the game these days, because it's called the other way, then the Cats are going back to the centre of the ground right now.
So it'll be a kick in for Fremantle. Cats thought it was a goal. It'll be sent out by Ryan to halfback. Certainly what we're looking at quite a few times as Banfield to Wagner. And now Draper. They try to get that handball game going. Walker, the little shimmy, bounced off Duncan. Feeds it wide to Sharp. Back in on the right boot. Just drive for a distance up towards the 50. Away by Blitzarves. Ball hits the deck. Amos tackled strongly. And we get a stoppage. So many players around the footy. Sarong held without it or pushed to the back. We'll get the free.
They moved quickly. They didn't have the mismatch. Tabata versus Bowes deep when the stoppage occurred.
Back to Walker in a more central position.
Well, they don't want to go straight in here. Got loose Geelong.
Way to Clark. Drives it in deep to the hot spot. Cats knock it down. Frederick was waiting. Guthrie quickly to Humphreys. That blasting kick out of defence went over the head of Clark. Cats threatened to win it. Haven't got much forward at all. A tough one to win here. Walker taken to ground. Jeremy Cameron. They can do all the flashy stuff, but the tough stuff as well, the 250 gamer. Brendan Cox. Back to Clark. They got the safety of Ryan back inside defensive 50.
It was a good chase by Jeremy Cameron. He got a bit of a shove as well into that tackle.
So Walker's head looked like it went along the ground. He was on the ground. The ball popped back to him. He had to get up and go, and here he is again.
Working hard across the ground, and Fremantle just share it back to Sharp.
So Fremantle have got the loose around the footy here. That's why Sharp's looking inside. Geelong got loose behind the ball, and they've got loose with Freo. So that's why they're trying to move the footy the way they are.
Wagner with a long kick to half forward, knocked down by Blitzarves. Holmes, Zach Guthrie, and now Tui. Haven't had it as easy in the last 10 minutes, the Cats, but they get a good run at it here. Myers with a quick pick-up. The kick was smothered though. Walker's had to do a heap, and he kicks it straight into Neil, and it's out of play.
How good was that from Brian Myers, though? He was low to the ground and still got that up. There's the tackle from Cameron, where Walker does hit the deck. Then he just has to get going again. But after that vision, he may have to just have an assessment, have a chat to the doc.
Run down tackle from behind, always looked at closely this season. See Cameron, they're just getting some treatment. Fremantle have the numbers to try to work it out of defensive 50. Sharp with a long ball in front. Frederick. Wagner. Again, they can run with handball through the centre square. Brayshaw, long ball inside 50. Oh, struck the mark. Sukowski recovers. Johnson got an arm clear. Too much of the handball. Stanley got creative. Wagner goes in. Johnson. Now Sarong. Leaks it back to Chapman. Try to pick out a player. He had Young at the top of the 50. Goes wide into the pocket. And Stewart sees it out of play.
Well, that's the non-Josh Tracy factor. They got hands to footy there, Freo, but just couldn't grasp it, as we see Jeremy Cameron just having a break on the bench at the moment.
Plus 26 in disposals now, Freo. So they're starting to find the footy. Just got to get that conversion, get those opportunities to score now.
Got the game back on their terms, but the Cats certainly control it on the scoreboard. They kick the first 4 goals of the game. Now Stengel up the boundary line. To Manor. Trying to feed it through. Dangerous handball. Frederick was clean. Got it away. Ryan was touched off the boot. Have to go in the air. Thump done by Jackson. Gained some territory. Young pushed off it well by Myers. Myers can go backwards. Stewart off the left. Jackson best position. Big contest. Walker. And Ryan will pump it back to the 50. They don't have anyone presenting. And Blitzarves can intercept.
Yeah, that disposal differential you're talking about, Jono. 25 ground ball gets to 11 Freo up, so it means they're outworking Geelong at the moment, even though they are up on the scoreboard. They're getting there first, getting there with numbers.
Top 4 spot on the line. Massive game in the context of the season. Wagner couldn't take the mark in the end. It fell on his head. Draper, so Wagner, problem. He's wrapped up by Dangerfield, who was not letting him escape. But he wins a free.
It's desperate, isn't it? It's so desperate from the Cats with the pressure they're putting on, especially inside forward 50.
Wants to go quickly, Dangerfield. Spearing ball in to the square. Walker hands to it, close, knocked it down. Henry couldn't get a boot to it. Banfield sees it over.
Smart by Brad Close, keeping the ball alive. Just Henry wasn't able to get hand to foot. There's a desperation for danger.
Dangerous ball out of defence, but it's okay for Johnson. He'll stab it centrally. An aggressive kick to the corridor. Switkowski's got numbers on the open side. Fremantle transition it quickly. Banfield for the run of Sharp. Fredericks on short, and he hits up the leap and drops the mark. Has to recover. Got support of Sturp. Cats trying to get back. Guthrie's in there. Handles straight to the boundary line. Pretty easy call for the umpire. Banfield takes the free. Goes across to Clark, who can go the journey from here.
Yeah, I think he'll have this journey in him. He wants to do the team thing, which he may not want to in his 100th game.
100 games, of course, started his career at the Cats. 32 games for Geelong. Jordan Clark, long kick of the footy, eases back on it. He's all about it, being better down back, but he enjoys sneaking forward to hit the scoreboard. Jordan Clark.
He's given it the Olympic shooter celebration. Hand in the pocket. The assassin that got sent to the Olympics is given it that one. And this is Jordan Clark downstairs pre-game, getting some congratulations of Luke Ryan, his family down there, very happy for him, which is brilliant. His 100th game, he'll be happy with that. The defender, go up and kick a goal. And his full boot behind that. And look at this. Really good. Really good.
The cult hero from Turkey, just channeling there with the celebration, Jordan Clark. A great goal, second for Freo.
He's been influential so far, hasn't he?
2 minutes to play in this first quarter. And they'll win the clearance. Fife trying to handle back into the path of Jackson. Trying to shove off Holmes. He kicks it inside 50. Knocked away by Guthrie. Didn't get it to the boundary. Banfield will feed it back. Johnson. Back for Banfield again. Tucked up on the boundary line. Centering kick. Intercepted by Holmes.
It's good cover by Holmes. They look dangerous again, Freo. Cats had an opportunity to mark that ball through Guthrie. Just didn't get the ball big enough across the line. So Freo were able to keep it alive. So this has been good by the Cats to hold things up late this first quarter.
Ruin will go short. Myers has had a busy first term.
Yeah, this is disposal number 8 for Brian Myers. Jeremy Sharp leads the way for Freo, playing on the wing with 11.
Long up the wing they go. Fisted away by Clark. He was held without it.
So Tom Stewart's gone behind the footy late here. My pick salves as well. So Fremantle will want to be careful about moving it too quick.
Chapman taking a bounce and just pumping it long to the hot spot. Big pack, Amos there, but Jack Henry in front.
That's not the kick, not with some of these guys behind the footy that Geelong have. We know Jack Henry's a great intercept player. Tom Stewart can do it. Mark Blitzarve, so you need to lower your eyes when you're coming inside 50.
Terrific mark by Henry. Get it back from Kolajasny. They were ferocious to begin this one, the Cats. They go long, out to half-back. It's knocked away. Voss couldn't take the mark, and it'll be held up.
Getting his hands to it at the moment. Patrick Voss just not quite clunking them. As the game goes on, he'll hope to improve his confidence with those.
Jackson in the ruck. One away by O'Meara. Late chance here for Fremantle. Kick to the hot spot. Smashed away from Sturt. In close tackle. 11 seconds on the clock to end this first quarter. Been much more even since that flurry in the first 5 minutes from Geelong. Myers sandwiched. Spills out O'Meara. Wagner can get one last inside 50. Long test of strength. Jack Henry again, not paid the mark. It's locked in, and that will do it for the first term. Entertaining stuff with a top 4 spot on the line. The Cats burst out of the blocks. Fremantle have come back into it, but it is Geelong by 13.
All right, quarter time, folks, here at Optus Stadium, whereas the Cats 4-2-26 leading the Fremantle Dockers 2-1-13. The Cats came out with such power. They dominated that first bit, and the Dockers on the back foot for a fair bit of that game. The Dockers then got their run going back again, and they looked pretty good running through the wing, etc., but made some ultimately, well, some bad decisions, which could have cost them scores on the board. Being said, the game has steadied out. It's evened out a little bit. I'm still thinking the Dockers for this game. The Cats lead here. I think once the Dockers get their game running a little bit more smoothly, we'll see a different Dockers. But it's going to be a good game today here, folks. No mistake about that. Let's go and have a quick look at, see who the leading disposal getter is. Jeremy Sharp is the leading disposal getter on the ground with 11 7 kicks, 4 handballs, 4 marks, 1 clearance. Brandon Walker. Wagner next best with Ryan and Myers and Johnson and Clark. So a lot of players with 8 disposals. Then we've got a few on 7. Dempsey. Dangerfield started pretty good, looking pretty strong out there, doing quite well. He's had 4 clearances with a couple of tackles there. All kicks to him, the 7. Let's roll down the board a little bit more. Nat Fife, he needs to get into it a little bit more. He's just had the 5, still directing traffic there through the middle. He's had the 5 disposals. This is, I don't know why that is off. There is my line here. There is my line there. My goodness. Anyway, there we go. There are the stats for the players. Zach Guthrie with 4. Tui with 3. So a little bit quiet. Tom Stewart. The defence of the Catters, they're holding up pretty well, especially when Freo went late down in the last quarter, held up pretty well. And that being said, the latter half of that first quarter, the Fremantle defence wasn't too bad either. Jeremy Cameron, he's just had the 2 touches, 2 kicks. He's kicked 1 goal. Blixfast, well, he's a little bit quiet there, just with the 2 touches. And there is your stats for your players after the first quarter. We'll go and have a look at the goal scorers. See who's kicking all the goals for the match so far in this first quarter. And of course, we've got multiple goal scorers here. But all singles, of course, Reece Stanley, Caleb Sarong, Oliver Henry, Oliver Dempsey, Jordan Clark, Jeremy Cameron. They are your goal scorers so far for the game. And Jeremy Cameron, of course, was the first goal scorer of the match. We go, Jeremy Sharp leading the way on the fantasy points. If you play that game on 41, Myers 35, Clark 35, Ryan 33, Dangerfield 33, the rest below that. Quick look at the team stats, and we shall see, well, the Dockers 109 to 76 on the disposal count. That's a little bit surprising. I thought with all that dominance, the Cats would have been up there on top. But it's the Dockers by 33 in disposals. And most of those come through their handball, 55-25. Inside 50s, well, the Dockers have had more opportunities, 16 times inside 50 for 3 scoring shots, so they need to lift that efficiency. That's pretty poor at the moment, whereas the Cats, inside 59 times for 6 scoring shots. That's going pretty well. Disposal efficiency around the ground, 80% to the Dockers, which is pretty good. As I said, they've just made a few fatal flaws in some of their decision making. 69% to the Cats. Inside 50 efficiency, 18%. That's about as low as you'll see it. That's what the Dockers have got at the moment. 55 for the Cats. Free kicks, 6-3. Cats leading the way in the free kicks. Hit-outs, Geelong dominating there. 20-6. The clearances, the Dockers in front by 3. The centre clearances, Dockers doubling the Cats. 4-2 at the moment. Stoppage clearances 9-8. Contested possessions, well, there you go. 35-28. Uncontested 75-45. You would think with the amount of stats that the Dockers are leading, you would think they'd be leading this game, but that is not the case. Not the case at the moment. 16 to 15 in the turnovers, 24 each on the marks. Marks inside 50, 2 to 1 to the Dockers. It's pretty hard getting a mark in there at the moment. Contested marks 2 to 1. All right, we're going to go back down to the ground where the players are still in their huddle. Coaches are still speaking with their players, but we'll take you back down there and we'll hear what the commentators have to say as we just about ready for the bounce of the second quarter.
Winner of this afternoon's match will jump into the top four with 2.5 rounds to go. Brad Johnson, Will Schofield, G Geelong. Their pressure was elite. They certainly seem more hungrier side so far.
Oh, they were brilliant. In the first 20 minutes, they were well on top. We saw the pressure gauge was enormous, and that was their tackling ability here. 8 for Fremantle, which Longview will be very disappointed with. The Cats with 26, but it's their tackles inside forward 50. Their forwards set the tone in this area. They scored off the back of them as well. So 6 inside 50 tackles to 4. Freo got their 4 late in that contest. As they started to come back into it, Will, they had a lot more inside 50s in the last 6 or 7 minutes of play.
Well, yeah, Geelong have been efficient, haven't they? They've had 6 scoring shots from 9 inside 50s, where Fremantle's had more momentum, more field position. They've had the 16 inside 50s. The pressure's been elite from Geelong, but Fremantle are now becoming a bit more ball owning around the field, and they're starting to own the footy and possession. So this is going to be a game that's dictated by clearance, I think. Fremantle didn't start well in that department, and that's where they're going to have to lift to get back into this game.
Second quarter to get underway. So much on the line for both of these teams. Sean Darcy are laid out for Fremantle. Rowan are laid out for the Cats. As we get underway, Stanley and Jackson in the ruck. Spills to Stewart, who's tackled strongly. Quick restart. Jackson down. Good work by Sarong to get it out to Fife. And missed last week with suspension. Played every game up till that point this season. Clark to Sarong. Swings the ball inside 50. Guthrie couldn't mark. Bounce favoured Fremantle. Banfield. Brayshaw tried to fend. Just somehow got a handball away. Dangerfield hurdling. Banfield tackled with an arm pinned and a ball up. First goal of this second term will be vital. Cats would love to just put a bit more of a gap in the game after kicking the first 4. Sarong again. So good with that control of the football as it bounced and the finish as well to hit Voss leading out.
He just wanted that. Caleb Sarong, one-on-one battle, shoulder on shoulder, and he was the one who pushed forward to win the ball and then use it well on the left going inside forward 50. Second disposal in this quarter so far for Sarong. 1 centre bounce clearance to start, and that beautiful kick inside 50, and yes, pay the mark.
Patrick Voss gets his opportunity back again. Goal kicking has been an issue. 2 goals, 9 across his last 3 games at AFL level. On the kick, it's well wide. Out to the right. Certainly an area, if he wants to stay in the team, needs to tidy up. Henry got a big bump as he tried to get the kick away. Ollie Henry now gets it away to Atkins. And the Cats go for defensive 50 up to half forward, but it's well intercepted very casually by Brendan Voss, wasn't it?
Yeah, just laconic. No worries, I'll just take that out of the air.
Terrible bounce though for Ryan. Close there, closed down by Ryan. Did he get him high?
It's caught in the back there. Good kick.
Cats go back inside 50. Close long. Ollie Henry trying to lead, waiting down. Cameron from the pocket, centering ball. Just hoping there was a cat in the vicinity, but Sarong takes it. And is there going to be a 50-metre penalty?
Some of this on the replay. Tried to stay out his back there, Ryan, but couldn't. Free kick, and now 50. Carlton Strong's going quick too.
And by hand after the 50. They go forward to Switkowski.
Yeah, I like that kick from Brayshaw, breaking it up short. Haven't got the flow off the back of it.
Sarong's been everywhere. Wobbly kick this time. Poor execution inside 50. Banfield on that left boot, hooking it back from a long way from goal, but never on target. And a behind.
It is really a unique way that Geelong play at the moment. Let's just watch this from Caleb Sarong. Saw this a little earlier. Watch him bounce the footy like a basketball. That is so classy. That's why he's so good inside.
Cats out of defence, Stewart. Way to Zach Guthrie. Over the top they go, blitz halves. Long ball to half forward. Out to meet it, Brennan Cox smashes it away. Sharp spins into trouble. Just got past Manor. Releases Clark. Sarong. Long handball. He's trying to put it to the advantage of Fife. It worked okay for Switkowski. Fife continued his run and delivers to Frederick.
They're using the forward handball so well at the moment, Jono, the Freo Dockers. That's how they're getting into space. They're breaking that first line of defence from Geelong with a forward handball. So this time it's Nat Fife getting that. Big one by Sarong into the middle of the ground. But just watch this one. Forward handball, bang. He's out. Gets a chance to hit up his forward.
Michael Frederick. 4 goals across the last couple of games. And he steers that one through nicely.
Yeah, that's a better finish by Fremantle after another strong passage of play. Caleb Strong, 6 disposals already in this second quarter, 3 inside 50s and 2 score involvements. We've seen the stars of the competition come to life this round, and Caleb Strong is one of those, and that's just a handful of space, but you can see that his teammates were going to be able to run onto it, and then Fife with time and space inside 50. You can look at Frederick, look how much space he's got.
It's interesting the space there, John, because Geelong have got 2 loose at the top of the goal square. So keep talking about this, but this is the way Geelong's playing at the moment. Unique, they're dropping a loose behind, so you can eat that up by short handballs and short attachments at the top of the 50. You can beat it.
Cats kick the first 4. Fremantle with the next 3, and the margin's back to 6. Geelong being challenged now. It's Jackson trying to get it down to Young. Bowes handball. Will ricochet back to him. And a high kick inside 50. Clash of bodies. Neil tried to move the pack, but it spills to Draper. He was pushed off balance. Dempsey can try to retrieve it. He's had to wait for the ball to bounce. Now they get the run. Holmes is a running machine. Inside 50. He goes to the square. Dockers with the numbers. Brennan Cox the intercept.
Well done by Luke Ryan there, protecting his fellow defender.
Chapman pinpoints the kick. There was not a lot of room for error there at all.
No, but the confidence is high now. You can see it building from Fremantle. They're a bit nervous to hit that kick in the first quarter. But the way they've started this second, their key players are getting plenty of ball, running hard into space.
Brayshaw just shrugs off the tackle. It's a high one. For Stanley knocked it down, but only into the path of Young, who uses that lethal left to find Frederick.
Talk about space at the moment. Frederick's finding plenty of it. And this will be his second shot in a matter of minutes. But Hayden Young, we spoke about in pre-game, his rise in the competition over the last 7 weeks. And this is why his use inside forward 50.
Really set things up. Hayden Young. Frederick for his second of the quarter. And hooks it.
The vision there from Young was why they love playing him in front of the footy. He delivers inside 50, creates marks inside 50 because he's such a good decision maker.
Holmes with the kick-in duties. And the overlap run. Got it back from Duncan to the wing. Geelong position well.
Oh, you can see Jackson fall over.
Yeah.
When going to win that contest, that allowed Stanley to get in behind.
It's this side of the ground, Jono, that's really slippery underfoot.
Knocked away by Ryan. Have you seen the Jackson and Stanley match up so far? Stanley with the goal. They battle each other pretty well athletically.
Yeah, they do, don't they, Will? It's one of the most important matchups on the day, because if he's got time and space to run Jackson, he'll be able to break away from Stanley, who's got the smarts and the experience to push forward.
Look down to the front of the pack. Bowes on the boot. Test of strength. Chapman did well. against Cameron. Stengel, good hands. Back to Cameron. Taken to the turf by Chapman from the pocket. Quick snap. No way. From there. Incredible from Myers.
I don't even know if Brian Myers thinks he's kicked this. He doesn't seem to be celebrating too much. He's kicked that from the fourth row of the stands. Let's watch him. This is him at the top of the screen here. Follows and tracks the ball in. Jeremy Cameron fighting for it. That's done everything. I don't know how that's gone through the goals.
Well, yeah, spot on, Will, because the way he's shaping that, he's going to hook it back to the centre, but he's kind of hit it straight, so it's just rolled end on end. That's a beautiful finish from Brian Myers. That's been part of his talent path for his entire career.
Credit where credit's due, Jono. Some players didn't mean that. You watch him kick that, he was meaning nothing other than kicking that straight through the goals.
You should not be able to snap the ball that way and get it to go through the goals in that direction.
That's why he's got great ball control and he was able to adjust it so it went end over end.
An incredible bit of skill from Myers as Fremantle break out of the middle with a run and a bounce. It's Hayden Young bursting clear with a huge answering goal.
Him in front of the ball, but I reckon they'll have him do that every centre bounce if they could. Jono, I reckon we saw that last week from Hayden Young as well, bursting out the front of stoppage. He's got a massive leg on him and he sees the space and says, I'm just going to take that all the way, thanks. Here he is here. He does well to burst through this stoppage like he does. Turn over a fumble from Tanner Bruin. Kick that from 55 on the run. You like that one, didn't you?
Oh, it's game on now. Well and truly. This is going to be a classic this afternoon. If we've got passages like this, Brian Myers at one end kicking one from the boundary and then centre bounce Hayden Young out the front, kick from 55.
Kicked a similar goal last week. Hayden Young bursting out of the middle with a run and a bounce. And it is game on at Optus Stadium. The Cats will take it through Atkins. High ball going up to the 50. Cameron at ground level. And he can just wheel around. Jeremy Cameron hooks it a bit too far though. Across the face of the goals. Boundary umpire had to take evasive action.
Oh, imagine if Jeremy Cameron put that one through three in a minute. That would have been unbelievable. Not to be for the Cats. And they've got to be careful here, the Cats, because Fremantle do have the ability, especially with Clark, his ability to get the ball long with effect and out the back.
Clark out of fullback. It's the type of contest you want when there's top four spots on the line. Atkins feeds it over the top. Brendan Cox is wrapped up. Freo have won the last three straight against Geelong. Before that, the Cats really dominated this fixture, winning 6 of the 7 beforehand. Duncan wide into the pocket, just too much on the kick, and Clark can intercept.
He's been good today, John Clark. This will be his 12th disposal.
Up to half-back, Jackson rising. Switkowski down low. Ball squirts free and then socket away, and ricochets out of play.
An arm wrestle at stoppage at the moment, 16 to 14 clearances and pretty much even at centre bounce too. So we've got some really good players going through there from either side. They know what's at stake here.
Walsh against Stanley in the ruck. Stanley flicked it down to Tui. Up to create it to Manor. Up towards the 50. And the Cox couldn't mark, ball knocked to the boundary line, and they see it out again. Dockers playing in the retro jumper today, part of their retro round. Same jumper they wore in their first ever home game against Geelong back in round 2, 1995 at the Wacker. All the fans very keen to get their hands on some of the retro merch, as it's Luke Ryan out from half-back, and it's Taberner who gets a big cheer on his return.
He's a popular player, Tabs, here at Freo, and that mark there, that's the Josh Tracy mark that they probably haven't had today so far.
On ball, Up the wing, Voss just snatched at it, then coughed up the free kick, took Atkins high.
That's what you're talking about, Will, though. Those opportunities where one grabbed their away there. It was a beautiful kick from Taberner with Voss in some space. Maybe he just needs a little bit more voice around him as well.
Atkins wide. Cameron.
He hasn't been in the side either, Jono, so it's a confidence thing. Those one grabs, like he knows how to mark them. So, yeah, he needs to go and clunk those.
Cameron arcs around. Long ball into a big pack. Neil was down their hands to it. Ryan. The kick squeezes through a bit of traffic. Young back to help. Clark. Not 15 for Chapman, so has to go. Just roost the ball out to half-back. Taberner just held Kolodjasny out of it. Voss drops another one. Couldn't hang on. Cats a chance to take it back inside 50. Atkins. No one tackled him. Able to get the handball. Kolodjasny. Switkowski. Run down. Good tackle, Atkins. Got back in there again. Hot footy to be won. Smothered off the boot of Holmes. Young can be clean. Picks up with the step. Now to Chapman. And they bite off that aggressive kick through the middle. Banfield good down low. Handball back behind Switkowski. Dockers with that handball forward. Sarong. Out now to Clark. Lowers the vision. Kick to the pocket. Sturt.
What a passage of play. Both teams in the middle of the ground. Fremantle come out the other side because their star, Will, Hayden Young, with a beautiful step to create some space in what was a really tight contest. And he set this up for the Dockers.
The most goals he's kicked in a season, 17. Sam Sturt, that was last year. That's what he's on right now for this campaign. Kicked 6 goals across his last 3. Doesn't need many opportunities to get amongst it. Sam Sturt, reliable set shot. He thumps it through, and Freo have come roaring back into it.
Just to go back, what a beautiful finish as well from Sturt to finish a great passage of play. Well, here's the step here from Young. It was so tight in there, but it's going to get smothered, and just that composure in contest, which is really important.
Well, he's lifted, hasn't he, Hayden Young? And it was a scrimmage, so either way there, each team was out, but it was Freo on the end of it. Another mark inside 50. Good timing here as well. A little push from Sturt, takes the mark. Just watch this, just a little nudge, holds his space well. And Freo really starting to take hold of this game. As I said, Geelong were efficient in the first quarter. It's still okay, 8 scoring shots from 17 inside 50s, but Fremantle really starting to dominate field position.
6 marks inside 50 to 1. Voss with a hit out down. Brayshaw lost it. Dangerfield trying to get his team going. Scores level in the second quarter of this crucial clash. Ollie Henry, terrific hands. Dempsey wants it long. Kick goes in that direction. Out the back, Fremantle trying to recover. Neil crashed in, took a big mark. Fremantle disputed. It'll be paid. And Shannon Neil with a terrific mark.
Mark, Jono, I heard play on called and then I heard mark. What do you think?
Wow. Going on the reaction of the crowd.
What's the crowd thinking?
We know what the crowd thinks, but here we go. It's got a lot of Sharp's hands on that, for sure.
The umpire called play on to start with, so he should have stuck with his instincts.
Justin Longmuir certainly didn't think it was a mark. Importantly for the Cats, it's been paid and close to goal. Neil has kicked a goal every game he's played this season. On his return to the West, slots it through.
Well, this is the efficiency that I'm speaking about, Jono. So just one inside 50 from the centre bounce there, and it's 1 for 1. They don't need the repeat entries at the moment. They're scoring as it goes in. It's just their 18th inside 50, and they've scored 9 times. So they're finding ways to score here. You see Neil out the back, crashes the pack. That's not a mark at all. It's not even close. But he goes back and kicks the goal.
Yeah. Enormous work from Sharp actually to get back onto Dempsey to create that contest. Yeah, well, every Freo player that in the area knew exactly what had happened there.
Neil trying to claim it.
Well, he did claim it and was paid it. A touch unlucky in the first quarter with that goal review. The Cats, it might have been one that then squares up. You take what you can get for sure, because sometimes it doesn't go your way.
Nice work in levelling that out, perhaps.
Here go the Cats through. Stewart. Tackled by Brayshaw. A chase from behind. He wanted a free kick. He's too busy wrestling with Stewart. The Cats kick away. Wrong direction away goes Henry. And a holding free kick. The crowd are filthy. The atmosphere enormous.
This is good to watch. Freo fans not happy.
10 free kicks to 4. The noise of affirmation not working in the West this afternoon.
Tom Stewart's lifted his work rate, starting to really impact behind the footy now. It's his 4th disposal for the quarter. Trying to get his game going.
Blitz halves. Long and high up the wing they go. Off plenty of sets of hands that time. Clipped in play by O'Meara. Wagner. Walker. O'Meara. They go back to go forward. Draper. Away now to Ryan. Good chase by Ollie Henry. Ryan always pretty cool and does well just to change direction. Back out to the interchange wing. O'Meara to Cox, back to O'Meara. Fremantle looking fluid as they go to the 50. Switkowski. Taverner's leading back into the pocket. Switkowski goes centrally. Scuffed the kick slightly. Jackson was there. Cats with numbers. Blitz halves. Tumbling ball. One back by 5. Knocked it across to Brayshaw. And it goes swinging away from behind.
You're right, Will. You called it earlier in regards to what the Cats want from Fremantle going inside 50. Brayshaw here, I think he thought he had one hold in the ball. Didn't realise that Stewart had actually got the handball away, but they need to look short inside 50. If they keep going long, the Cats have their numbers back in the goal square.
Well, even that one with Jackson, it's a 1-on-3, isn't it? So they still need to keep lowering their eyes.
Cats hold the advantage. The game has evened up. Wagner didn't tackle. Bouncing off Holmes with a couple of bounces. He runs his way around the wing. Terrific run from Max Holmes as he goes up towards the 50. Sends it long towards the square. Dempsey, good use of the body. He's got it. That one is a mark.
That's 50. It should be 50 against Clark with his reaction towards the umpire. So we're back there again where you can do what you like in terms of a demonstration.
They lost the game for less than that earlier on in the year, Jono.
Yep.
Here at Gather Round.
That's it.
Terrific run by Holmes. And Dempsey steps out, just a little casual on the finish. Misses one he should have kicked.
Well, the purists will be going right in to kick a drop punt in that scenario. Fremantle with a quick kick in, though, trying to catch the Cats out.
Not much better on a Saturday afternoon than a game of footy with a kick in it. So much on the line. Both of these teams desperate to finish in the top 4. Only a few matches to go in this crazy season that is 2024. We'll see how to play again.
Yeah, that Jackson-Stanley battle is a really interesting one, going everywhere together. Jackson's had just the 1 kick, 7 disposals. That's probably a win to Geelong. Reece Stanley doing well to quell his influence at the moment.
Stanley taking the points early, kicking a goal. As it's knocked on Brayshaw. Myers. Switkowski did well not to infringe as he came in to lock it up or get a ball up.
Yeah, it's contrasting styles at the moment as well. Fremantle, the kick-to-handball ratio is nearly even, where you've got Geelong who are just kicking the ball a lot more, 2-1.
Jackson went to ground. Stanley could get it forward. That'll be a free kick to Draper.
Did well to get to front position there, Draper. That's why he was able to win that free kick. So once again here, Fremantle identifying there's loose down the line. It's why they're moving it how they are. Trying to use up the free, suck Geelong up the ground and then be able to move it a little bit better.
Happy to chip it around the back line. The Dockers eventually get it to Walker on defensive 50. Now Sharp. Turn it into a kicking game now. Fremantle.
Yeah, as soon as I say they've handballed a lot in this game so far, they've been able to chip it around, but the Cats don't mind this. It stays in this half of the ground.
It's still peaked in their defensive half. They've had about a dozen possessions and not really gone too far. 4.5 minutes till half time.
Just the distance.
O'Meara given some leniency. Continue just to chip their way up the field. Clark. Game number 100.
And playing well in it as well. Jordan Clark.
Always a bit of extra motivation up against your old side. And in a milestone game, Cameron back, but Amos in the pack. Stanley a bit slow to get back to his feet. Don't see much from Amos inside 50 yet for Fremantle.
That's the one though, that's the kick right there. All the numbers flowing back for the long kick in. Looks short, he's able to find his teammate.
Sukowski certainly taking some deep breaths, working hard to get to this position.
Take a big kick from here, Sam Switkowski. Not sure if he's quite got it in him, but I hope I'm wrong.
10 goals for the season. Sam Switkowski to try to run around on the mark. He's just going to go to set play. Instead, into the pocket. Was knocked away from Sturt.
It was there. It was definitely there to send a little bit of a better kick from Switkowski into space. But that build-up from Fremantle, that was really smart play. They got exactly what they wanted. They get a mark inside 50, just can't score.
Different build-up to what we've known from Fremantle over recent weeks, where they like to go quick and handball their way forward. Now it's Myers. Had a defensive 50 down low. Chapman couldn't take it in the fingertips. And then the fingertips of Tui see it over the boundary line.
Yeah, they're working well at the moment with Chapman. I think he's taking Cameron when he's higher up the ground with his ability to work with Jeremy Cameron. He's actually doing okay in the one-on-ones as well. As Cameron goes deeper, then they make the adjustment per matchup.
Sunny afternoon. Great game of footy. As it goes back up through the centre square, Wagner held it for a while. Clark, Chapman tried the fend, good tackle by Manor, and it causes the turnover. Cats come up with it, but Cameron run down. Didn't realise Walker was right there on him. Otherwise, Geelong are away. Now Fremantle through Draper. Johnson. Goes short and wide to Sharp. Frederick leading up. 2.5 till the end of the quarter. Neither side really wanting to give too much away just before half time. Wagner's kick will go to a contest. Taberner, I'm going to bring it to ground. Kolajasny there knocked it away. He ran over the boundary line and then kept it in play. Did ever so well to get it to Humphries. How aggressive did Geelong want to be just before the break? Stewart goes short.
Both signs are up on the bench. They've told each team under 2 minutes remaining, and they've both gone into possess the footy mode.
Luke Ryan's just got his boot off at the moment, getting his ankles strapped. We'll keep an eye on it.
And Scaff. So another Dockers defender, a bit of an injury concern.
Well, he'll sit till half time now. You think Luke Ryan.
It's a chance for a very casual phone call. Crossing the legs, sitting on the bench. Doesn't seem too concerned. Kicked away on the Cats up to half forward and well marked by Draper. Johnson. Wide to Sharp again. Still time, certainly for a score. Sharp's got the overlap run. Now they have to get it going. Around the boundary line. And a booming kick inside 50. Taberner drifting from the side. Jackson was there too. Cats held up, but Blitzarves sends it a few rows deep.
Now this will be interesting now from Jeremy Sharp. 1 minute to go. Cats will have all their numbers back behind the ball. They're flowing there now. So they're going to have to be smart with their ball use here. Smart kick.
Short to Switkowski. Knocked away by Holmes. Does it open the door for Geelong? Dempsey didn't have much to go to. Away now to Myers. Short. Wagner spoiled it down. Manner's got some problems. Knocked away. Good work rate from Switkowski. Came up with it for Fremantle. Handball dropped by Banfield. Dockers still try to surge. Wagner kept it in. And then the boundary line won.
Had an opportunity there, Freo. Just too many fumbles in that contest. Brought the Cats back into it. They've got to win the ball back and give themselves an opportunity with 30 seconds to go. Big forward stoppage here for them.
Crowd enjoying what they're seeing in this first half. Wherever you're watching it on. Great battle between two teams. Fighting it out for a spot in the top four. And a free kick for a chop of the arms goes against Neil. He didn't like the call. Ticking down to 10 seconds.
Nice chance.
Fremantle a chance from here.
Big grab required.
Sharp's got the word. Long kick goes in. Plenty of players underneath it. Ball onto ground by the Cats. Boss with strength. Couldn't get it on target. It's out of play. But a terrific first half of footy. The Cats kicked the first four of the game. Well, the Dockers have evened things up. And there is just a goal in it at half-time. Jeremy Cameron's 250th. Brad Johnson's been a great contest.
Oh, it's been a fantastic contest. It's been fast between the arcs, that's for sure. And a contrast in styles. The Cats' pressure has been the highlight of the first half.
Mitch Duncan back in the side this week. The Cats have got a fair bit of work to do. They absorbed a lot of pressure in that second quarter. With the results the way they've gone already today, the opportunity is massive for both of these clubs if they can get the 4 points today. Let's get down to Kath Lockman.
Yeah, got Tom Stewart with me. Close game. How do you see it behind the ball?
Yeah, it's tight. We know coming over here, this is a really big ask, and their stuff around the ball, something's really elite, so we're going to start matching in there and playing up our forward half.
What do you think Chris will say at half-time? Anything you deviated away from?
No, we came out with a pretty good plan. We thought we executed, obviously, as we said. They're a really good team, so we knew they were going to have their moments, but some of the big boys behind the ball I thought were exceptional.
Cheers, Tom. Good luck for the second half.
A cracking Saturday afternoon at the footy, at the major break. It's the Cats leading it by 6.
All right, there we are. Half-time, folks. Half-time at the Optus Stadium. And it's the Cats 6-4-40 leading the Dockers 5-4-34. The Dockers putting on 3 goals, 3 to the Cats. 2 goals, 2 in that quarter. The Freo fumbles. Chris, you're spot on there. I think the Freo have got a little bit of the fumbles. They're just not hitting their targets, right? They're fumbling the ball. And I think that's cost them the lead in this match for sure. 100% you're correct there. Absolutely. But, the score is what it is. And the Cats are getting the job done, I think, a little bit more experienced head on their shoulders, and their game plan sort of holding up reasonably well. The defence is good. Not allowing the Dockers to bomb the ball into their forward line. The Cats are back there defending that pretty well, so they've got to look for shorter options, etc. Maybe about 40 out and having a ping from there. But I think we're in for a good game anyway for the second half. I think if the Fremantle Dockers get the butter off their fingers and stop fumbling, I think we should be in for a good game. Let's go and have a look at the players' stats now up until half-time. And that is Jeremy Sharp leading the way on 18 disposals, 13 kicks, 5 handballs, 8 marks. He's got a clearance also. Jordan Clark, 17, 12 kicks, 5 handballs, 4 marks, 1 tackle. Swiskowski, there we go, say that 3 times fast. That's a tongue twister. He's got 16, 6 and 10, 6 marks. He's good overhead, 3 tackles. Caleb Sarong, he's going pretty well, isn't he? 14 touches there. Luke Ryan with 14. Corey Wagner for 12. Grant Myers, who kicked 1 from the stands. He kicked a great goal. How that went through is like a magician. Dacos-like goal, as we said in the chat. 12 disposals he's had. 10 kicks, 2 handballs, 4 marks. He's had a clearance. He's kicked 1 goal, 1. You just roll down a little bit more. Where's your man, Josh Draper? There he is, 11 touches, 7 kicks, 4 handballs, 2 marks, going okay. Oliver Dempsey with 11. Tom Stewart there, who we heard talking just before, or just after the siren. He's just got the 9. Paddy Dangerfield, quite quarter in the second term for him. Still, I like the way Paddy runs through Runs through the pack on the ball ups, getting his power going. Brayshaw, 9 touches, needs to lift a little bit more. Same with Fife, only the 8. Banfield with 8. Jeremy Cameron, there we go. He's trying his heart out. He's had 7 touches, 6 kicks, 1 handball. He's had a couple of marks and a couple of tackles as well. He's kicked 1 goal, 1. Blixar's is quiet. He's been really, really quiet. Same as Jager O'Meara, a little bit quiet there for Freo. Just with the 3 kicks, 3 handballs. Keep going down. Zach Tui just with the 5. Jack Henry just with the 5. He's a bit quiet today. Oliver Henry with 4. Paddy Voss with 3. And Stengel there, who's surprisingly quiet there for the Cats. Just the 2 disposals and 2 handballs only. There we go. There we go. So that is your stats on your players. How they're going. This is the dark line here is the disposal count, what they've had. I'm not sure why that's not. There we go. That's leveled up again. The goal scorers for the match, all singles, of course. Hayden Young, Sam Sturt, Reece Stanley, Caleb Sarong, Shannon Neal, Graham Myers, Oliver Henry, Michael Frederick, Oliver Dempsey, Jordan Clark, Jeremy Cameron. They are your goal scorers so far. The AFL fantasy points. Jeremy Sharp on top there, leading the way at 73. Jordan Clark, 69. Squasky, 68. Luke Ryan, 61. And the rest under that. We've got 13 minutes until the bounce of the ball for the third quarter as we get the second half underway, not too far away. Disposals, pretty similar. The Dockers are getting out a little bit on the disposal count, so they're getting plenty of the ball there. They're 60 up. We'll take you back down to the commentators when they come back on. We'll let you have a little bit of a listen into what they're saying there. So there are the kicks. 19 up the Dockers. The handballs, they lead the way. Let's go back to the commentators as they're giving a couple of their thoughts.
Then it flipped in the second quarter, so Fremantle did that to Geelong. Geelong's been really efficient. The way the ball's being moved has been conservative from both sides, so they're trying to possess the footy. But where Fremantle's looked really dangerous is with that forward handball. Coming out the front of stoppage, breaking lines and being able to do that. But we've got a really great game of footy on our hands, don't we? Some of these highlights we've seen.
I was just about to say that the highlights package coming out of this game is looking pretty good already. That from Brian Myers, if you don't mind.
The ability to keep that one straight and not bring it back from that position was incredible. Hayden Young, we like this from him out of stoppage as well. Straight out the front, and he knocks that over from 55.
He's an absolute gun, isn't he? And well, that just adds more to David King's case of why you need to tag that man if you're going to play the Dockers.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you're giving up Sarong and Brayshaw as well. So, yeah, it's the tag's an interesting one. And I've really enjoyed watching Tom Stewart's game as well, dropping behind the footy. So they're keeping it right in control as we see the Freo rooms downstairs.
Of course, a lot of it today is about that man, Jeremy Cameron. Game 250 with his adorable family. And what about this kick as well? He somehow makes it look easy, doesn't he? We're going to celebrate the milestone man next and hear from his teammates in his 250th match.
How do icons stay relevant? They...
All right, so while we wait there's a few of the commentators' thoughts there. We'll get back to the commentators as soon as they come back on. Where were we? The team stats, I think, did we go through the team stats there, folks? We did down there, disposal efficiency. Freo are still pretty good there in their efficiency. The Cats 65%, a little bit under their season average. Inside 50 efficiency, but dropped off a little bit there, 34%. And 47 for the Cats. Free kicks, well, the away team have the more free kicks there, Geelong 10-7. The crowd never like it when the away team gets the free kicks or they come on top of the free kicks. A few iffy decisions there, and certainly you probably heard that in the call where the crowd got on top and weren't so happy. The hit-outs, the Cats well and truly on top by 18 in that department. The clearances, Cats by 5. Centre clearances, that's pretty even there, 5-6. And the stoppages, Cats by 4. Possession contested, Well, that's level. 61 apiece in the contested. Uncontested, Dockers trying to chip it around, find their targets. There's 70 odd up there. Well, 60, what's that, 67 to be exact. Turnovers, the Cats turning it over just a little bit more, but on season average, and of course the Dockers, under their season average, they're doing well. The marks, Freo well on top with the marks. Marks inside 50, 7-3, so the Dockers are finding a target. That being said, some of those targets are maybe about the 48 metre mark, and of course that is a little bit far out to kick for some of the players who have had the shots and then tried to pass it off unsuccessfully. Contested 5-4 in the marking. Defensive tackles, the Cats doing well there, 35-19. Tackles inside 50, both on the average, 5-7. Cats by 2 there. The 1%ers, Geelong, are doing just a little bit more in their favour that way. Let's just run this back up. Let's go and have a little bit of a look at the live ladder while we are here and what that means if Geelong win. So if the game stops and Geelong do win, this is what it means. Geelong are sitting 5th on 52 points and Fremantle on 6th on 50 points. So if we stop the game, put the live ladder on, Geelong will now jump in the 3rd spot. Equal second with the GWS Giants, only 2.7 percentage away from second position. So that can be got, if the margin gets out a little bit bigger, the percentage will grow, and the Cats quite possibly could go in a second position if they win by a big enough margin here today. But we can't see that because Freo are doing a lot of things right. They've just got a few errors that they've got to clean up. Of course, Fremantle here, if they actually need to win this game, I'll turn that back off. They need to actually win this game and then they'll jump up into 4th spot, equal with Brisbane, only trailing by percentage. And that will give them a good opportunity with 2 rounds remaining after today to jump up into the top 2. And the top 2 get the home final in the first week of the final. So it's an important game. This is like a mini final. And it feels like a final also, this game. All right, we're only 8 minutes away from the restart, the rebounds. Paul, how you going, Squire? I just saw you coming in. How you going? I was just having a bit of a, what's the name of that? Hang on, am I on the right one? Let me see, where am I? Where am I? That's where I want to be. That's better, that's better. That's better. So wrong, says Chris. Freo fumbles. You're not wrong. Freo fumbles. It's not they've got butter on their fingers. And, they're just making those vital errors, at the time where they should be making the correct decisions and things will be going their way. Paul, what's going on? I'll tell you what. It's a bit of a quiet day after the Pies lost last night. But there we go. That's the way it goes. That's footy. That's footy. As I said to someone earlier, it might be season over for the Pies, but I think at least for next season, we're going to look forward to that. We should get a fair bit of the team back, all healthy. We've had so many injuries this year. I think they've still done a great job getting where they are. And if I just go back, just have a quick look at this. You know what? It's still mathematical chance. If Hawthorn, Essendon, Carlton, the Dogs lose, there's still a chance that the Pies can get there. If these teams, lose today in the next couple of games and the Pies happen to win. So mathematically it's still a chance, but it's very highly, highly unlikely. But that's right, always next year. But we're in for a good game this one. Cats are second. That's a depressing prospect. You're not wrong, Chris. But I tell you what, the Cats haven't really been too strong, I don't feel, this year. They haven't had that, how do you say it? That invincibility down at the Cattery when they play down at home. So if they do get a home final, I'm pretty sure they'll be wanting it to be down at Geelong, and they'll probably get it there as well. But yeah, still depressing. I know it wasn't probably too good to see Brisbane losing today to the Giants. So that just goes to show you that, when you think one team's well on the way to being the ones to beat for the season, they get rolled. You just go back to saying, you know what, this is anybody's season. Whoever turns up on the day, who wants it the most, who plays the best footy, who makes the right decisions at the right time, they're the ones that are going to be walking home with the silver cup at the end, the Premiership Cup. I know, still getting over yesterday's game. I know. Yeah, I'm a bit the same, Paul. You know, I still think that should have been a 50 when McStay, when he took that mark and the Sydney bloke ran over the mark by about 8-10 metres. It should have been a 50. He would have pinged that goal and then the result would have been different. The Pies would have come home with a victory. But, you know, the umpires, I think they're very scared. I think they're very scared to pay these decisions because of the repercussions they might get. You know, and they should be there to umpire correctly, whether it's, you know, a home crowd or not. They should be there to do their job. I said weeks ago, Sydney GWS final, you know, you just never know. If Sydney bring that pressure like they did in the last quarter, because that was the only quarter they were really, you know, strong in last night, was that last quarter. You know, and that being said, I think it was Heaney and Warner. They fired up in the last quarter, whereas they were pretty quiet for the first three, and that was the difference in the game. I think whoever plays Sydney, especially come finals, they need to tag those two players or try to shut them down if they want a chance against Sydney. But yeah, that was the best quarter Sydney's played in probably 6-8 weeks, I would imagine, that last quarter last night. But come on, Freo, says Paul. I think we're in for a good game here, Paul. You know what? I still can't pick a winner here. I think Geelong's doing it pretty well. They're doing it pretty well here. Their old heads are making the right decisions. They're just holding on. The Dockers, all being said, they're looking pretty good. They got the run, but they're not making the correct decisions when they need to, which are keeping, you know, the Cats in front here. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But we're only, what are we, 3.5 minutes away from the bounce of the second half, and it's going to be a cracker. Yeah, I keep hearing Warner and Heaney in the last quarter. Exactly, yeah, they had monster last quarters. You know, they're the two gun players. They're the two gun players. There is another one, I just can't quite remember the other one. And they say when these three players have, you know, great games, Sydney always win. They're two of them, and I just can't remember the third one. I just can't remember the third player, who that one is, from off the memory. But yeah, they're certainly two of them. Of course, Heaney was in. You know, he was looking good for. He was looking good for probably Brownlow favourite. You know, up until 3/4 of the way through the season or halfway through the season. You know, but that being said, you know, you got the other two players, Warner and I can't remember the other. Chris might know the other player. Can't remember who the other gun is for Sydney that always plays really well. But you know, Papley wasn't. No, that's someone else. It's not Papley, but it was good. Papley wasn't there because Papley can get under the, you know, the opposing team's skin. You know, because he's got some real fire about him, Papley, when he plays down forward. You know, kicks the goals. He, you know, celebrates hard, gives it to his, you know, his opponents and whatnot. So he's a real pain in the ass, Papley, when you're playing against him. But you know, as a fan or whatever of just football, he's probably one who's good to watch. You know, so. But yeah, that's exactly right. They're gun players, but you know, that being said, you know, I think the Pies, if they were just a little bit better going inside forward 50 yesterday, you know, they should have had the job done. You know, because they were on top for 3/4, I think, of that game, the first 3/4. So there you go. But it's all about today, the Fremantle Dockers and Geelong Cats. Don't forget, folks, we will be heading over for the next game straight after this game. We'll be up for the next game. And there were two more games after this one tonight, of course, Essendon and Gold Coast Suns. We're going to leave that behind. We're going to cover the other game tonight, which is Melbourne and Port Adelaide, which could be pretty interesting. If I have a look on the ladder there, Melbourne is pretty much season ending as well on 40, but Port Adelaide, that's more where it stands for the top 4 positions, the top 8, that will hinge on. That's going to be played at the MCG. Whereas you see Essendon down there, Essendon need to win to step into the top 8. And the Gold Coast Suns, who were pretty impressive early in the season, fell away with their youngsters, haven't quite made it. So we'll cover the Melbourne Port Adelaide game next after this one. That should follow on pretty much straight away after this game. But anyway, Parker. It could be Luke Parker. No, Blakey. Yeah, Blakey came into the game. Don't know anymore. It could be Parker. It could be Luke Parker. Parker's a pretty good player. He can, you know, he's pretty good. Blakey was a little bit slow, but he wasn't too bad last night. Blakey gives him great run. He's always a danger with the run off the back for Blakey. So anyway, guys and girls out there, let's get back to the commentators because they're about to bounce the ball here and get this third quarter underway. Fremantle or the Cats, who do we want to win? I don't know. To make it interesting, you just have one more. To make it interesting, you know what? Come on, let's go Freo. All right, folks, let's head back down to the ground for the third quarter.
To come to finish the home and away season, they're primed to finish in the perfect position. This second half is huge, perhaps.
Massive for both of these teams. The Dockers play the Giants and Port as well in the run home, so they can have their destiny in their own hands. If they keep beating those teams around them, they'll be focused on the next two quarters. We're underway. Third quarter, Optus Stadium, Fremantle, Geelong playing for a spot in the top four, and it's Young who can burst clear out of the middle. High ball, lobs. Jack Henry couldn't take it. Spills to feet. Henry goes back in again. Fremantle lock it up and we get a ball up inside 50.
Yeah, did everything right there, Jack Henry. Moved his man out of the way and just couldn't finish with the mark, the intercept mark. He's done that well all day.
Stanley and Jackson in the ruck. Jackson took it, gets away, back onto the right boot. Luke Jackson, almost. And that's just the ability he has in the ruck and then when play gets underway.
We're expecting a bit more around the ground from Luke Jackson. As we spoke about in the second quarter, he's been pretty well held today to see him impact the game a bit more.
Sean Darcy very, very laid out as we heard from Justin Longmuir. I gave him to the last possible moment to take his place. It's been a pretty significant reshuffle from Fremantle. No Josh Tracy either. Their forward line not quite functioning as well. Here go the Cats through College Asney. That's a good kick to half forward. And Neil takes the mark. He's got options inside 50. He showed too much of the footy to Brendan Cox. Still a chance here, Geelong. Handballs over the head. Pinched back by Young. And now Fremantle can get it out on their half-back line. Cox back for the run of Young. Slips the handball through and again they continue to run. O'Meara to Young. Opens it up to some space. Banfield waiting to accept. Looks up. Wants a target. Wide into the pocket. And too wide for Tabata. Both teams making errors going inside 50s. We go to Kath Lockman.
Yeah, I think a bit's happening on Geelong's bench. I'm told that Tanner Bruin is out of the game with concussion and incident in that second quarter, so they're going to activate their sub shortly.
Thanks, Kath. So Shane Mullen waiting to come in. Gary Rowe was a laid out for Geelong. So free kick going here to Dempsey.
Delivery inside 50. Just last time around we heard Justin Longmuir at half-time speak about that was the area he wanted to clean up. It was perfect ball movement by Freo and then just not finishing that final kick.
Jack Henry in short to Duncan. Searching for an option. Short to Zach Guthrie. Another short and wide one. Boundary up was right there watching on. So in play for Holmes, who took the mark. Slow start to this second half. As Holmes just pumps it up the wing. At the run of it, Ollie Henry. Off hands, well taken by Atkins. To close, to Cameron. They feed it inboard. Duncan, run down by Frederick. Great tackle. Duncan thought he could get clear. And instead of an inside 50, Fremantle win it on their half-back line.
After that first 15 minutes, they've done this well, Fremantle. Chase and tackle.
Tabata couldn't mark. Switkowski trying to burst through. Holmes pinched it and stepped through. Away to close. And again, that running game of Holmes. The handball was back in behind Duncan. They keep possession, though. Now it's Manners' turn. And it's knocked away by Chapman. So neither side can really execute going forward.
It's the opportunity that's missed from both teams at the start of this third quarter. Just that last critical possession that hasn't been effective. Ollie Henry just getting some work on his hand.
Might have landed heavily in that marking contest just a few moments ago. Holmes, high ball, drifting very wide, touched just inside the field of play. Look, Ryan almost getting mixed up with the umpire. Flash of panic as he saw a fine drifting his way.
He's all clear.
Some nervous energy around the grounds. No advantage, sure the players stopped, except for Paddy Dangerfield, who almost ran into his own teammates.
Grindmeyers could get out of the way backs.
Affected the kick. Otherwise, he was away at goal. And that advantage call, again, most of the players stopped, but Dangerfield kept going.
That's your number one, I think, in the rule book that you don't particularly like, perhaps.
Would like to see it changed. Don't blow the whistle, just keep playing. Bring it back if you need to.
It's really interesting across the ground at the moment. Both sides one-on-one in these slow play situations, pretty much everywhere.
Brendan Cox will switch it. They're out on the wing. Sharps had a heap of the footy in this one, finding lots of space on that open wing. Now Switkowski working hard. Not much ahead. Blinded by the light. Revved up. He sends it back through the centre square. Clark. Now to Walker. Short ball. They're working their way through it. Brayshaw out wide. Now O'Meara. The last kick, the most important. Sends it to the top of the square. Jackson!
What a kick. First time in this third quarter that Fremantle been able to get an effective kick going inside forward 50. Beautifully weighted from O'Meara to the advantage of Jackson. Took his time, knew he had space. Good look at it, great control, perfect kick.
Justin Longmire a lot happier with the entry. And Luke Jackson directly in front. 2 goals last week. Kicks the first of the third term.
Justin Longmire was happy because that's what he wanted cleaned up at half-time, the connection inside 50. And I'm sure we'll see some vision from behind the goals here. Just the way they move as a forward line. So Taverner leads up, he goes first. Jackson's holding, hoping for a longer kick, but then he starts tracking towards the top of the goal square. Reece Stanley doesn't put a finger on it. You cannot do that against players like Luke Jackson. You need to be physical with him. If you're not physical with players like Luke Jackson, they will do that all day long. Run, jump, that is his absolute strength and him at his very, very best.
Gets the answering goal that Stanley got in the first quarter, and scores are level. Sub for the Cats on. Tanner Broad, as Kath told us, going through the concussion protocols. So Mullen into the action for Geelong, and out of the middle, Jackson, who's just kicked the goal, gets it out to Fife, who's dumped as he got the kick away. And had to play up to half forward. Jack Henry knocks it down. Dempsey close to the boundary, loses it out and over.
Well, let's have a look at it here. So Danger, just with the drag.
That's fine, isn't it?
I think it is as well. Yep.
Let him go. If you keep holding him there, then you probably end up, I don't know, in front of the tribunal.
Right.
It's great to see Fife and Dangerfield going at it again.
It is, isn't it?
As they have done so many times through their career. Bit of payback there for that Fife.
Two competitors, aren't they? Absolute bulls inside the contest.
Think back to that amazing game at the Adelaide Oval back when Dangerfield was playing for the Crows, and they were just both allowed to go head to head. I think one got 3 votes in the Brownlow, the other got 2, and it was just a great battle. Renewing acquaintances here again as Holmes sees it over the line. They'll go down as 2 of the greats.
Still getting quite a bit of treatment down there. Ollie Henry on that left pinky finger. It's probably come in and out. He's going to go back out in the field. Not much fun, those.
Concerned about how he's going to drink a cup of tea now, Ollie Henry. as we get a ball up.
That's very good, Babs.
Jackson will win it down. Dangerfield, crushed by Wagner. Handball through. Just inside 50. Sturt trying to stand up in the tackle. He went to ground. They're ferocious after the footy, but it's not going to get out of there.
Well, this is what they've missed from Fife. You just see him there willing himself into the contest for Freo. He's trying to impose his body and his strength. Dangerfield head-to-head with him too.
Blitz halves, clearing kick back through the middle. Central position. The Cats can claim it cleanly. Neil couldn't. Walker gets back onto him. Wants to change direction again. Twisting and turning. The kick had to be good, and under pressure it was to find a mirror. Johnson. Urged to go by the crowd. Draper. Overlap run from Wagner. Central kick. Sarong. The big full forward.
Out of the goal square, Caleb Sarong. He came steaming out like, who was it? Jason Dunstall coming out over the top.
I had to double check it was the right person leading out the way he was.
You see it at the top of the screen there. It's a good lead. Good kick too.
Just drew the footy to him. Demanded it, Caleb Sarong. Playing inside 50 and having an impact as he kicks his second and puts the Dockers in front. Great goal to Sarong. Kath Lockton with an update.
Well, we'll admire Caleb Sarong's work first, perhaps. Brilliant kick by one of Fremantle's leaders. But this is the incident I just wanted to highlight. This was the Tanner Bruin incident, which has seen him ruled out of this game due to concussion. So maybe one that MRO might just have to check off on and have a closer look at in terms of whether Brayshaw has anything to answer for. Probably want to see another replay or two of that incident. But yes, as repeating, Geelong had to make their sub. Tanner Bruin out with concussion.
You don't want to see any player out of the game. I think Brayshaw will be okay though. Nothing to worry about there.
And Fremantle have gotten themselves in front. Couple of goals to Caleb Sarong. What can the Cats do to answer back? It's Bowes with a good bit of spring out of the centre square. To Myers, his kick charge down. Clark read it well. Fremantle back on the attack. Johnson couldn't get clear. Well wrapped up by Stewart.
That's their second charge down. Smother. Yeah. The Cats look like they've had the opportunity to go inside 50 effectively. Right under Fremantle. Coming forward to attack and defend.
Bowes did well to get his boot to it. Up to Manor. And the kick deep. Cats down the back. Dockers with the numbers. Ball set up. Ryan. Tackled well by Neil. Ball up.
Yeah, it's good controlled tackle by Neil. They look dangerous in the first quarter, the Cats, when they're in this situation. Forward stoppage.
Jackson late to arrive in the ruck. Myers. Look away handball. Manor ran out of room.
So many dangerous small moving forwards here, the Cats. Like to support each other, block, create some space.
Jackson to ruck against Neil. Neil just with the height to reach over. Got it down. Dempsey created a kick. Is it 15 just for Brendan Cox?
So they're going to have to build the ball up all the way from right in their back pocket here, Freo.
Geelong had such a handy lead early on in this one, kicking the first four of the game, but Dockers just grounded out from that point on. Now they lead it by a kick. Up the wing they go. Amos brought it down. Banfield waiting to accept. Brayshaw wanted a free. Humphreys crashed through. Atkins couldn't by hand. Away to Manor. Quick kick. Just fell short of Chapman. Wagner's in there. And we'll get a ball up.
We can see the pressure up by Geelong here. They know this is a really important part of this game. Another couple of inside 50 tackles for them. They've done it well all day.
Somewhat just peeking through. And this stoppage is knocked down. Atkins away. Manor on the burst. That is a ripping finish. And he levels things up.
Well, I tell you what, 45 tackles to 25, Geelong. So that's what they've done well all day. So they got this stoppage because of an inside 50 tackle, and they've got no one goal side, Freo. So brilliant stoppage work by Geelong Cats here. Neil knows it. Manor knows it. They're on the run and on the move. No one there. Is a really poor setup by Freo, and Geelong took every advantage of it. Just look at this. No one at the back of the stoppage. Got something wrong there. Yeah, it's a great goal, isn't it? One they really needed because they lost a little bit of momentum there in that quarter, Geelong. So, sure, Manor from Werribee really liked him this year, and he's certainly starting to find a spot in that forward line and through the midfield. Really, really smart around goals.
One of the great stories of the season. Played rounds 1 and 2 as a sub, and then he's played every game since round 17. Sure age recruit, the Cats just finding another way to find another one of those to come in and have an impact. Good step there by Fife. Straightens things up for Fremantle. Humphries, awkward landing as he went to ground. He's back to his feet straight away. Thankfully, landed okay. Back in the middle. Fife is taken high.
Yeah, Humphries is back on his feet. It looked dangerous, but he sort of got cradled all the way. That's another great story, isn't it? Humphries, I really like the way he plays his footy. That was courageous.
Get another look at it here.
Went back with the fly, and then just got a bit of cushion from Jai Amos.
Thankfully, he landed on his Fremantle opponent. Could have been nasty otherwise. So you go long inside 50, and Jack Henry.
It's been strong, Jack Henry. Down back to the Cats.
Switched across to Dempsey. Ball kick. Just get up and underneath it. Voss. That time he can hang on. Dropped a couple in the first half. That'll help his confidence as he juggles it. Player only in the early stages of his career, getting another chance at this level. So previously being on the list at Essendon. Mark dropped by Walker. Close was there, but he lost a handle on him, and Walker's able to run away with the footy. Drives it to half forward Amos.
Haven't seen much of Amos today. This will just be his third possession and his second mark, so need to get him a bit more involved too.
4 goals last week. Has looked very different, the Fremantle forward line, with no Josh Tracy there. There's always such a presence. Here's Banfield away. O'Meara, he tries to whip it round, curling. Had to do a lot of work. But not enough, just to behind. 9:40 remaining in the third quarter. The Dockers have the lead. They lost it by a point against the Bombers last week. They're in for another tight one. Not much presenting to Tui up the ground.
No, it's 1-on-1 at the moment. Found some space. Jeremy Cameron out wide. You see the way Fremantle been able to defend the ground because of how slow the Cats have used this ball.
Cameron's kick, showed too much of it. Frederick was good on the spoil. Switkowski, Banfield flicks the handball through to Frederick again. Wants to go centrally. That kick was smothered, knocked down. Cameron away to Atkins. Now to Manor. What can the Cats build from halfback?
Banfield was lucky there. Through the zone.
Myers to Guthrie. Cameron venturing right up the ground. He'll find a way forward for his side. Bose. He's not sure where to go inside 50. Just delayed the kick. Neal attacked it. Found it again. Away. Mullen run down. Just finding the speed of the game after being subbed in.
Oh, gee, that's a tough one, isn't it? On the Dockers, on the Cats, sorry, that's Sean Manor, that's been called against. And Jordan Clark's not being overly quick about it. Either cramping or see him walking his way up. What's going on here? Is it a cramp?
He's done a lot of work, Jordan Clark. He's not going to the bench.
It's not ideal, is it? 8 minutes before three-quarter time. You're already cramping. Yeah, it's cramp.
He'll be onto the pickle juice. He's got 20 disposals already. Ryan's going to blast it long. Inside 50, Tabner snatched at it. And Holmes out the back. There's a little bit going on off the ball there. Henry went down. And they kick out to half-back. Stengel. Haven't really seen him be able to light it up yet today.
Disposal number 3 for Stengel.
On away to Humphries. It's up to half forward. That'll test out the cramp for Clark, who goes to ground. Manor, tackled by Walker, who just got clear. Opens the door for the Cats. They try to walk it to the goal square. Atkins retreats back. Cameron! Sarong didn't have the reach. Certainly made Cameron earn it, who's feeling sore after taking the mark, but Jezza in game 250 will go back from almost directly in front.
He just stood tall, didn't he? Jeremy Cameron, you can see the height difference. Caleb Sarong was coming at him and trying his best. A smart kick in the end. Get your best forward, kicking for goal, and a huge kick for the Cats.
Found a way to get a mark inside 50 Geelong. They haven't had many today. Averaging 2.5 goals a game this season, Jeremy Cameron. He's got a lot of work going on there. Started on target and then completely sprayed away.
Yeah, it certainly did. Missed opportunity for the Cats.
The score's level again.
It's so tight though. It's been a great game of footy so far. Both teams between the arcs, moving it with some speed.
They love playing close ones, these two teams. Taberner looping handball. A real setup though for Brayshaw, as it's knocked away out of play.
Yeah, it was a poor handball. You've got to keep them flat. When you're doing the forward handballs, they have to be flat. You put any height on them, and then the opposition, Geelong, they're just going to press and tackle. Lucky not to get injured there, Andy Brayshaw.
Ball spun back in. Jackson there. Dempsey will clear the footy away. Bouncing ball. Neil just worked his man underneath it, then shrugged the tackle. Here go the Cats. Myers, good by foot, and he hits the target. Sliding in. Just landing on his hip there was Ollie Henry, and he can go back for a set shot.
Well, Geelong do what Freo haven't been able to do, which is connect inside 50. Yes, it was an open forward line, but you still need to be able to connect. And once again, it's going to be important. It's a good bit of work on the wing by Neil there, wasn't it? He's agile for a big fella. Just got under there.
Henry feeling sore. Henry, his 5th mark inside 50 for the Cats total this afternoon. Already got one. Geelong responding, but not efficient in front of goal with the set shots. Misses to Cameron and now to Henry, but they lead it by a point.
Well, that's a good point, isn't it? Perhaps they're in front right now. It's 40 inside 50s to 26 pretty much, and Fremantle just aren't efficient in front of goal, and Geelong can score.
Long ball out to halfback. Off the pack, Sturt couldn't take it. Myers sweeps a handball forward. Dangerfield, left boot, kick, perfect. Oh, it went straight to the chest, but it knocks away. Neil, quick snap. And just sneaks it behind.
I think Henry was even a bit surprised that Danger's left foot actually got there with some speed.
It was almost a perfect pass. A good spoil came in, and then it's going to be a free kick to Frederick. Brayshaw was screaming for it in the middle of the ground. They're going to go back to go forward again.
Well, they've got numbers out this side of the ground.
Big crowd in on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, tension about the result just means so much to both teams. The Cats just getting over the line last week against the Crows. Dockers dropping one they thought they had wrapped up against the Bombers. They're right in a battle for the top 4. A 2-point game. Taberner in and under. Got it to Young. Snap to goal. Bounce important. Rolls. The wrong side of the post for the Dockers.
We wanted to hold it in here. Repeat entries, the Dockers. Geelong, on the other hand, might need to possess the footy a little bit more and wrestle momentum back a bit, but they're very high up the ground. Every one of their players inside their own half right now.
Until he goes straight down the middle of the ground. Dangerfield couldn't mark. Duncan was swarmed. Clark to 5. Inside 50. Missed the handball though to Sarong. Otherwise it was a shot at goal. O'Meara. He burrows back through. Back to 5 again. Snap to goal. That's Stewart. Waits underneath. Got on by Taberner to bring it to ground. Just kept them under pressure. Geelong with the numbers. Kolajasny. Out to Mullen. Now Myers. Around the wing. It opens up a bit for the Cats. They've got one-on-ones up the field. Long ball goes. Stengel takes it on 50. Brendan Cox tried to come across to affect the spoil. Allows an opportunity for the Cats, but Clark takes the mark, dropping back into the space in front of him.
Yeah, they did a lot of retreat there, Fremantle. Used the corridor to get back quickly, which was important.
O'Meara up the wing. Amos, but knocked away by Zach Guthrie, went back to win it. Cats can go inside 50. Bowes with a snap, Neal with a reach, and we'll get a ball up.
Well, Fremantle are all out of shape at the moment, and Geelong are just taking advantage of it. They're going coast to coast pretty easily now in the back half of this quarter.
Fremantle free kick. Out of the ruck goes to Jackson. Dangerous ball. Cox though to take the mark away to Wagner. Again to Sharp in space. Working hard, Brayshaw. Now Switkowski, but the kick just fell short of him. Who's taken high. Knew the contact was coming.
Today, they've done that a lot. Drop kicks short, they break down their ball movement, and then they get in this position where they're kicking long to a Geelong loose.
1 point in it as we approach three-quarter time. Back through the corridor to Brendan Cox. Now Ryan on the wing. Geelong with lots of numbers back. Clark's a long kick. Tries to break the line. Sets it up to the top of the square. Pack was up. Ball hits the deck. Voss has strength with the fend. Got past him twice and then centres it up. Well, they say he's the strongest man at the club. And Patrick Voss putting the bench press to work right there to find Joe Amos.
It's almost knocked a couple of these players' shoulders out of place with the high fives he's given on the way out as well, perhaps. John, don't you see that?
I did. I thought he was going to charge to the bench. Just high-fiving and go to the crowd as well. It was a big play, though, an important play.
Yep.
Deep in the third quarter for Freo.
I mentioned before, I haven't seen a lot of Jai Amos so far today. Directly in front. 4 goals last week. He slams it through, and the Dockers lead again.
This game's really opened up, so the ball movement's now more free. Fremantle going one way, and I spoke about Geelong being able to do it to Freo too. It's who can take advantage at either end. Jordan Clark just puts it to a hot spot here, and watch Patrick Voss get to work, close to a boundary, bang. Goes again with the right, gets himself some space. A really smart kick. It's a really good kick. Pretty happy with it too, Patrick Voss.
He should be. The second one there, that's the strength. Normally you get away with one and you get pinned on the second. He was very happy as well. He would have run down and high-fived Bossy as well after that.
Well, they said when they picked him up in the pre-season that he immediately came in and was the best on the bench press at Fremantle. And he used all of his strength there. And the Dockers lead it by 5. Get a restart.
Big centre bounce clearance here. Minute to go, both sides.
One down, Dangerfield.
What else?
Great clearance. Late on in this third term. Dempsey, red at the best.
This is why Patrick Dangerfield is one of the best players in the AFL. He knows there's not long left. He knows where his team is. If that goes the other way, this could become a 2-goal lead to the Dockers, but he gives his chance to take the lead back with just being in the right spot, standing up when his team needed him.
Jeremy Cameron missed set shot. Henry a missed set shot. So this one becomes huge for Dempsey. Can't have 3 in a row. Love to take the lead going into three-quarter time.
Breakout season for Dempsey. Just inside the 50. It's just what they couldn't afford. Almost marked down there by Neal. But 3 very gettable chances go begging for the Cats in this third term.
Yeah, they do. They didn't have a ruckman on the line there, Fremantle, so I'm sure Justin Longmuir would have been sending a very, very astute message down the ground if they had marked it on the line, Geelong.
Ryan. It's pointing as if he was going long, and then went short to Wagner.
Look at that, 1 goal 5 this quarter to Geelong. Missed some chances.
Trail it by 4. After leading for most of the afternoon, the Cats. Seconds tick down to end the third term. Jackson in the air. At ground level, Voss again with strength. Got it through to O'Meara. Chance here, the Cats. Guthrie's kick just a tumbling one. Stengel could be dangerous, but it's out of play. And that will do it. Do not go anywhere. It is all set up for a massive final quarter, which will decide a spot in the top 4. It's Fremantle by 4.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere because this is going to be one epic final quarter here. It's the Dockers leading 8-7-55 to the Cats 7-9-59. It was a tug of war that quarter. I tell you what, again, the Dockers are doing some fumbling. They got big improvement that they can have in this final quarter, and the Cats are nearly punishing them, but they kicked awkward. The Cats put on 1 goal 5 in that third term, whereas the Dockers put on 3 goals 3. Well, see, accuracy makes a big difference, folks. Accuracy makes a big difference. It's going to be a fantastic last quarter. Have they got songs for the players now? I don't know whether they've got individual songs. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if there's one play they may, I'm not sure. I haven't heard. I know. Sometimes when they kick the goals, for like, I think it's Brisbane or something, they play a John Denver song or something like that. It could be the same for Freo here at the ground, but I think that could be a little bit different to the actual club song, but most have got club songs. Not all have got those songs that play in between goals, though. I think, some of the interstate, sides may have that. Noel, welcome in. Go the Dockers. I'll tell you what, you're on the right path at the moment. The Dockers are doing well, that is for sure. Matthew Clutches, come on Geelong. So we've got Geelong and Freo supporters in the house this afternoon, this evening. John Dent, Country Road, that's right. Country Road, take me home to the place I belong. There we go, there's my singing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they could use me as the singer there. Who knows? I don't know about that though. Let's just have a quick look at the disposal get. I want to see who's on top. Jordan Clark's leading the way on 25. Luke Ryan 23. Jeremy Sharp 22. Wagner 19. Myers 19. Schwartzky 17. Dempsey 17. Max Holmes 16. Atkins 16. And the rest under that. I'll just run through that in case you want to have a quick glance at that. Nat 5 14. He's going all right. He's still like a bull. I think him and Dangerfield are going head to head. From what I see, they're both playing all right. The old stages there, the old guns, they're going pretty well. Always good to see two stars at it with each other, trying to show each other who's boss, but I think it's a pretty level game there between those two blokes. Well, there's a quick look at the stats because we are not too far away. We're only a minute or two away from the bounce of this final quarter. As I said, don't go anywhere, folks, because we are in for one fantastic final quarter. Let's have a look at that live ladder. There is the live ladder as we see it with Fremantle in front. They're up to 4th on 54 points. Have a look at all that mixture around. Of course, Geelong, if Geelong win, they'll go on to 56 points. They will jump up into 3rd position. But if Fremantle win, that's where they will end up. So both teams have got a lot on the line here. Could make, as I said before, could make all the difference in what happens come the first week of the finals. So it's going to be interesting. Who wants this game more? Who's got the legs? Who's going to run it out the strongest? We will see in a little over 1 minute's time when the game gets underway again. There we go. That's the Dockers though, 8-7-55, leading the Cats 7-9-51. Of course, I'm just looking who. So the Dockers in each quarter, they put on 2 goals in the first quarter. They put on 3 goals in the second quarter, and they put on 3 goals in the third quarter. The Cats 4 goals in the first quarter, 2 goals in the second quarter, 1 goal in the third quarter. who's going to win this game. Don't forget, put your votes in who you think's going to win. So far, we have 43 votes. We've got 51% saying the Fremantle Dockers, 49% saying the Cats. It's still up in the air who's going to win this game, but I know it's going to be a cracking last quarter. And we're going to go down to the ground, and they just doing a couple of comments, and then they're going to take us in for the bounce for the final quarter.
To answer for, but we know that the MRO system, Brad Johnson and Will Schofield, is heavily outcome based, and Bruin has missed more than half of the game due to concussion. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a strange one, isn't it? Because they're the ones where the player's got his head over the ball, he's leading with his head, he's trying to get the ball though, so difficult to get into a different position, but Brayshaw hits him and now he's out with concussion, Jono. So is it the outcome or the action here? Because if it's the action, that's fine, but if it's the outcome, maybe he gets, I don't know, maybe he's
I can't see him being in trouble in that instance. I think he's got good control and care for the player as he's approaching that contest, and Bruin unfortunately fumbles the ball as well. We don't want to see Tanner Bruin out of the game. We understand that, and we all agree on that side of it. But this is just one of those unfortunate accidents that happen within the game. I thought Brayshaw's care in that scenario was good as well.
Justin Longmuir really bringing his team in close there, and we know what it means for the top four for ladder positions, but Fremantle at three-quarter time have struggled this season when they've had their noses in front. 5 games they've had decided by 10 points or less. They've only had the one win. That was against the Swans when Logan McDonald didn't score after the siren. There's the live ladder right now. It is so tight, it is so tough, and it's right on both of these teams to try to fight it out.
Yeah, well, we know what Fremantle did last week in a huge game for them. They got run over by Essendon. So can this midfield of Fremantle hold up against Geelong, who's going to be throwing everything at them, Jono?
Well, they need to. That's it. It's on for both these teams. It's been an excellent game of footy so far, and it's going to go right down to the wire. There's no question with that. It's about conversion. It's about making the most of the important opportunities in this last quarter.
I'm thinking top 4, but a loss as well puts you in danger of falling out. That's how tight it is in the top 8. We're underway, final quarter. So much on the line for these two teams. First clearance goes the way of the Dockers. Sarong to Jackson. Up and under kick with that left boot. Pack goes up. Sukowski was there. Knocked it to Johnson. Tried to control the kick, but it's well wide of Taberner and out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, he saw Taberner. He just couldn't get that left foot around enough. He was free. Tabs, they haven't connected well inside 50 all day, Freo.
Fourth quarter. Fremantle by 4. Long ball. Tough back, taken by the Cats. Stengel will keep it moving. It's a 2-on-1, favours Fremantle at the front. Brennan Cox will almost drifted over the top. Won it down. Draper, Sarong, and they just had the extra number. Ryan. The outside of his boot, up the wing. Did well to get it to Switkowski. Swift step to get it to Chapman. Handball forward. Rolling is Johnson. Dangerfield strong. Johnson got rid of him though. Back to Chapman. He's running out of room. Myers tackles him well. Pressure right up. This game will be red hot right through the last quarter. Fremantle retreat. Geelong hunting after them. Kick misses a target. Holmes trying to keep it in. And every possession you feel just has so much at stake.
Well, Geelong will be so happy with that start. They're coming at Fremantle. They're putting them under the pump. They're making them go backwards. We've seen Fremantle use that forward handball all day. Well, that time it was about 6 backwards handballs in a row.
Pressure in the first turn by the Cats was elite. They're trying to get it back to there, and a big clearance here to Dangerfield. Bursting away from the stoppage. Kick was a poor one up inside 50. Ollie Henry working hard to get there. Sharp trying to chase him down. Working to the front. Took possession, wrapped up baller.
It's good cover by Sharp. He's had an excellent game playing on the outer, mainly on the outer wing for Freo. 22 disposals. It's a good stop there.
2 rucks have to make a lot of ground to get over to it. Stanley knocks it down. Dangerfield imposing himself. Couldn't win a clean possession. Brayshaw, tough bounce though for Walker. Now under the pump. He's almost run down by Bowes. It's in a central position. The Cats swarming. The pressure goes right up. Dempsey over his head. Walker goes back in. Dempsey got it to his boot. Bowes couldn't get it out cleanly. Myers had it knocked away. And then Ryan can step out of trouble. 5, Humphries had him. Jackson, no room to move, but there's a free kick over the shoulder. That will release the pressure valve.
It does.
Geelong deserved a goal there, Jono. Their pressure in the first 2 minutes of this one has gone to a new level. They deserve one there, I reckon.
Jackson doing the bulk of the ruck work with Darcy laid out today. Cats win it back. Stewart over the top to Jack Henry. They've got some numbers here. Jezza Cameron into the pocket. Stengel and a quiet afternoon. Good vision. And didn't blaze away. Went in short to Henry. And a set shot, which the Cats missed a few of in the third term, will be crucial here.
Oh, it will be big time. He's had a sore lower back. Henry since taking a diving mark late in the third quarter. But you're right with the opportunity here. Must convert this one.
Have been good coming into today with 21 goals, 9. This set shot, another miss.
It is. That's a poor miss. Especially with the build-up. You're right. They've built pressure, won the ball back effectively. They need to get the reward off the back of it.
7 goals, 1 to 3-4 from set shots. And a lot of them for the Cats. They've been pretty gettable ones. Crowd riding every moment. So many other clubs to be watching on. We'll see who gets the result in this one. Switkowski socketed it through. Taberner back to Switkowski. He couldn't get past Himes holding the ball.
Great tackle. This is a motivated and inspired Geelong Cats side to come out for this last quarter. Huge pressure game. Great tackle by Holmes.
Freo won the last 3 against the Cats. Geelong looking to power inside 50. A kick by Holmes, and in the pack is Patrick Dangerfield standing up in the crucial moments.
It's a massive grab from Dangerfield. Talk about their leader, their best player, setting a tone in this last quarter with power and strength out of the contest and in the air. That's a huge fly. Big grab.
That's the misses from the Cats today from their set shots. But it sits on the shoulders of their champion, and he is up to the task. Patrick Dangerfield puts the Cats in front.
Wow, he has gone to a new level. Patrick Dangerfield. This is what leaders do, Jono. We saw him with a minute to go in the third quarter. He was the man. Let's just watch him here. I reckon he's got to put some body on Walker, and they don't, and he just goes up and grabs it. That is a big mark in a big situation, and set shots haven't always been his strength, Paddy Dangerfield, but he goes back and does what he needs to do there. It's his side in front. How good's that mark?
Yeah, that is so strong.
Just his 5th goal of the season, Paddy Dangerfield. He's had a couple of stints out with injury.
Resting up forward at the moment.
Geelong lead again. 3 points in it. Out of the middle, clearance will be crucial. The Cats can win it out the front. Blitzarv's on the boot. High ball. Dangerfield lurking again. Neal's there. Knocked off hands. O'Meara. The pressure again from the Cats. The Dockers defenders have no time or space, and it'll be a stoppage inside 50 for Geelong.
Well, they're being challenged here, Fremantle, as they were last week, as they have been a lot of times this year. 4 times they've lost after leading at three-quarter time.
Jackson down, Sarong. Great hands to get it out to Wagner. High ball to half-back. Taberner and Kolajasny go at it. Humphries on the boot. Long ball again. Dangerfield top of the square. Neal getting back. Ball bounces. Fremantle don't rush it through. Chapman now under the pump. Working hard in defence. Kept his cool and clears it away. But it's all Geelong. Ball went underneath it. Zach Guthrie. Taken by Blitzarves. Humphries gets another chance. He couldn't hit a target. Going through again. Big bump. Neal crashed through. Chapman back to his feet. So much on the line for these teams. Players throwing themselves at it. 2 is now a chance. He slips over. Spills in short. Neal couldn't mark. Walker tapped it away. Chapman's okay. Back on his feet. Taberner just nudged Kolajasny underneath it. And he wants seconds to go. Fremantle a chance to fly. Frederick's got a one-on-one up inside 50. They dart back. Amos leads and marks.
Listen to the crowd. Oh, the 3-on-1 inside their 50. Freo, they're able to connect. How about that run and carry? It was the big mark from Taberner on the wing, and then Brayshaw and Friedrich off to the races. Not too high, Geelong.
He's kicked 9 goals across his last 3. Jai Amos. And to be the true spearhead today with no Josh Tracy. On his boot. He is just missing. It was so close, the crowd were riding it through. 2-point game. Fremantle's turn to miss an opportunity. Zach Guthrie wants to get some run going. Bose, still a stack of time remaining. Long kick to half forward. Knocked away from Henry. Draper played it well. Good take by Young. Able to get it to Johnson. Wants something at half forward. Overcooked the kick. Colin Jasny has to work hard. And running back towards his own defensive goal. Did well to beat out Taberner. And then turns it over straight back to Johnson. Who's going to be able to keep a cool head? Who's going to be able to execute across this last 13 minutes?
It's going to come down to who sets up quickly and smartly. Fremantle too slow to set up there. Geelong almost got them out the back.
Dockers have struggled in the close ones this season. They're pushing. Both sides want a double chance. Young just got a handball away. Sturt feeds it back. Sharp's had a heap of it. Long inside 50. Taberner almost out the back. Amos sets up Sarong. Inside 50. He's been a weapon. A third goal for Caleb Sarong.
Wow, listen to that. That's huge. And that's a huge goal from their superstar, Caleb Sarong. You're right with his overall performance today. Perhaps it's been sensational. And he's just got Duncan there and he goes to the contest. Breaks through. Good work on the line by O'Meara. I thought initially it might have been a free kick against, but there was too much in it.
Bunnings build up was good for Fremantle. And Caleb Sarong, he has kicked 3 goals in this game. He has found a way inside 50 when a lot of other players have struggled. He's the only multiple goal kicker on the ground.
Crowds getting into this one, aren't they? And it's a record crowd for Fremantle v Geelong at Optus Stadium, 50,600. The Dockers have also just made their sub, so Carl Warner is on the field, just trying to figure out who's been subbed off.
Thanks, Kath. They're making plenty of noise too, the locals. Warner's out there and steps right into the cauldron. 4-point game. Seesawing contest. Sarong good at the clearance. Out to Johnson. High ball goes inside 50. Dockers the extra number. Amos dropped it. Had hands to it. Almost on the way down.
Well, how do you get so free inside forward 50? A big opportunity to give it. They had to win that centre bounce, Fremantle. They did through Sarong and Johnson.
Last couple of stoppages have been important. Young gets involved. Sarong again, the craft just to win the footy. Young couldn't take it. Tui. Now it's the Cats' turn to be under the pump. Fremantle trying to lock it in their forward half. Myers was clever, trying to get to the advantage of blitzers. Receives from close. They can break this and run now. Over the top, it's Mullen. He will pump it long. Inside 50. Freo the extra number. Ryan came across. Spoiled it away. Henry at the spill. Able to take and snap. Got good purchase. Heading goalward. Cameron. No. Goal line. Neil. Cats lead again.
What a goal, coast to coast for Geelong. They looked to have Freo out in their feet a little bit on that one. Players cramping. It's been hot over here in Perth today. They went with hands. It was that first one from Brian Myers, and then they were out. Again, I've talked about setup. I don't think Freo got that quite right. They've got an outnumber here. Luke Ryan doesn't quite get it done. It's a good kick by Henry to get it to the dangerous position. Jeremy Cameron And it is kicked from a centimetre away from the line, coast to coast in the truest fashion.
Dangerfield back into the middle of the ground now for the Cats. Had his spell on the bench. It's a big finish. It's kind of reads a little bit Dangerfield versus Sarong. Who's going to get their team over the line?
2-point lead. Cats with their noses back in front.
Stanley with the advantage here.
Heap of time remaining. Been an epic battle. These two clubs have had a great rivalry across the years. Dangerfield gets a free there opposed to Fife. And they don't pay any attention to Holmes, who can run and bounce and send it long. Inside 50 to the pocket. Cameron was up. Couldn't mark. Chapman. Now Draper. Dockers out of defence. Kick to half back. Zach Guthrie.
That's better from Zach Guthrie. Read that one really well.
Searching for an option. Pokes it into the pocket. Big pack again. Brennan Cox was in front and will be paid the mark.
He's stood up a few times today. That's his 4th intercept mark. Brennan Cox.
So Matt Taberner's the one that's been subbed off, just tactical for Fremantle.
Thanks, Gav. So a bit more run with Warner. One less key forward out there with Taberner subbed. Only came into the game very, very late, after the final teams had been named for Sean Darcy. Long ball up the wing. And he was able to spoil it down. Tui with a handball. Close to the boundary line. Warner's in there, close, scrambling. They fight amongst each other rather than going for the footy, and eventually it goes out.
It was pretty smart in the end from Brad Close, because if he takes possession, he'll be picked for dragging it in. So he started to control the space, knew that Fremantle weren't going to be able to run away with it, and they get the stoppage. 5 feet Dangerfield, let's keep an eye on that.
Just at the front of this stoppage, boundary side, it's knocked towards Dangerfield, who paddles it on. Fife with a little hold, no whistle. Dangerfield bumped off it. Cats try to follow up. Manor, did he keep it in play? No.
That one on string. So Yo-Yo is walking the dog along the line out the front.
Had a ride in the cradle.
Dangerfield, his last quarter has been very, very good, boys, so far.
Cats with more time in forward half. They lead it by 2. Stanley good in the ruck, smothered by Young though. Stop the inside 50. Just gets away from the tackler. Spears the ball to half forward. Ill directed. Kolodjasny.
Well, that's what they've lost. They've lost a key forward down the line. Freo in the sub with Taberner off, so they're going to have to be smarter with their ball than that.
Henry. Jack sends it out to Humphries. Time for a bit of calm and possession football for a change. It's been frenetic to start this final term. Now some overlap run. Holmes, they're just going to blast it as long and as high as he can. Cameron out the back, did all the hard work. Just couldn't hang on to the mark. Draper, Young, little step, under the pump. Away to Ryan. And he's going to dash out of defence. And a good kick too. To half back, Sarong got a little tunnel from Humphries, who was trying to spoil.
Yeah, it's a big grab by Sarong. Got the advantage here, overlap.
Sharp. In space. Controls the kick. Amos. Strong hands.
Really important mark. Turnover there is going back straight back the other way. Get a chance to reset here, Freo.
2 points in it. Multiple lead changes in this second half. Ryan's given them some bounce out of the back line.
Yeah, he has. They've gone back into this control football. Fremantle, Geelong, every one of their players inside their own half right now.
Sharp. Amos.
Geelong won't mind this as well. Just a bit of time, a bit slower.
Every entry so crucial. They get the lead to the pocket. It's through the hands of Voss. Dempsey to Zach Guthrie. Good tackle, Sarong. Boundary throw-in.
It's like it's both teams want to get to the 5-minute mark with 5 to go, and then it'll be on again. That's when the burst will occur.
This tunnelling on Caleb Sarong. I think Humphries was just trying to contest. Maybe not a lot of malice in it.
Important stoppage. Inside 50 for Fremantle. Young gets the arms clear. Way to Brayshaw. Thumps it on the boot. ill-directed to the pocket, and again, a good defensive mark, and that was ugly from Banfield.
50, Zach Tui was all over it.
Banfield just putting his arm and elbow down into Guthrie.
You can't be putting your elbow in someone's head like that, getting away with it.
So no 50 paid. Certainly two movements there from Banfield. Cats have got it close. Short, too short, and Clark bumps it away.
Chance to mark it, Clark went the safer option.
So this is the contest.
That's all right.
That's fine. I mean, that's not good at all, really. Umpire was on the wrong side to see that live. I'm not sure. That's a brain fade there. Don't like that at all.
Very much should have been a 50 to the Cats. There's a wrestle in the ruck. Slap back towards the boundary and out of play.
Don't mind that from Stanley either. Just clear the congestion. If he got caught on the wrong side, he knew that he had no shape. If he had have gone short with his tap, cleared the area, reset.
7 minutes to go. Cats have dominated the hit-outs and the hit-outs to advantage. There's another one from Stanley. No, Sean Darcy proving pretty crucial. Stewart wrapped up well by Jackson. Obviously, he might not be getting the hit-outs. He can do that at ground level.
Yeah, that was great. He came off the bench. Big tackle now into the ruck.
Stanley knocked it down. Fife got it out. Clark, Warner, right into the heat of the game. Johnson into trouble, then out of it. Warner's going to go all the way back. Retreats to Draper. Nervy sort of kick out to half-back. Wagner, Sharp. That's corralling well. Now the kick to a contest. 2-on-1. Faded by Geelong. Zach Guthrie pumps it back to the 50. They've got the advantage here. Now Cameron could go all the way. He's a long kick. He's searching for an option.
Fremantle opened the ground right up there, and then they kick to a 2-on-1, basically down the wings. When you open the ground up, you need to be making sure he kicks. Here we go in his 250th.
Jeremy Cameron can dominate games of footy when at full flight. And he can pump goals long from outside 50. That one hooks away. Contest in the square. Warner got hands to it. And it's through for a behind. Cats by 3.
When Freo flick the go quick switch, Jono, they're still being very conservative with their ball movement. They're down with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think, 3 points in it, so I think they've still got a couple of minutes to try and score. Playing the way that they have.
Good kick from Ryan finds Brandon Cox.
Before that urgency really comes back into it.
It's a half-back.
That's a strong kick inside.
Brayshaw. Now they can be a bit more aggressive. Clark is quick and wants to run. Bose had slipped over. The handball, though, a little dangerous for Walker. They've got the extra number. 5 back for Walker. They go from one end to the other and almost the mark to Voss. In fact, it stays in play. Blitzarfs goes up the wing. Walker back in. Taken high by Henry. Is that lucky there, Ollie Henry?
Well, it was a good second effort from Walker. It was his kick that didn't hit the target. Geelong numbers back again. They're going to try and possess the footy.
Spot in the top 4 on the line. 3 points in it.
So you're right. Well, they have to control the footy here. Going long now.
Ryan just bombs it. Looking for someone to launch. It's spilled almost out the back. Mullen with a good touch. Jack Henry clears it away for the Cats. And Ollie almost marked it. Stengel feeds a handball away. Cameron's not got much forward. Dangerfield working hard. Going inside 50. Working harder than anyone else. Patrick Dangerfield. Sockers.
He missed.
He's missed. It's gone the wrong side of the post. He had time to pick it up, Paddy. But he went the volley. We'll get it checked. Brandon Cox thinks it was pretty clearly the wrong side of the post.
So the reason,
and that's why Ryan and Cox had to control the ball, because Slickshot is the Cats' best friend with all their numbers back.
Yeah, but this is why Brandon Cox was so upset. This review, Geelong now set up behind the footy. They were right quick on the kickoff there.
Yep.
That's why he's disappointed in that. That was a pretty clear behind, I would have thought.
Fremantle with a kick in, 4.5 to play. Was that the opportunity for the Cats to have sealed it?
Certainly was. He was one on none in the goal square.
Ryan out to half-back. Blitzers. Strong mark. Geelong finishing strongly.
Brendan Cox flowing back now.
Numbers back. Stewart just goes that extra distance. Looking for a leaper. Henry there off hands. Another behind. Possession back to the Dockers. Wagner wasting no time. 4 minutes to go. Dockers had the lead at three-quarter time. They've lost 4 of those matches, holding an advantage at the last change. They're staring down the barrel of 5. The Cats standing up to the pressure. Tui, Stewart. Geelong back to half-forward. Another slip, though, from Ollie Henry, and Sharp wins it back. He's off. Walker from the wing. Short pass. Over the head of Switkowski. Up to meet it. Mullen did ever so well. Look out. Zach Guthrie tackled, holding the ball. Brayshaw in the defensive act. Poor kick. They tried to go on with it. The noise immense. The pressure immense on the shoulders of both teams.
That was Jago O'Meara. He should have held it up there. I think he knew it was a free kick. He threw his arms up like he didn't hear it, but I think he did. Geelong got loose behind the footy now. Fremantle need to go and find their men. 3 minutes to go.
Henry, switch it up. Still a heap of time. Cats with the lead and possession. Blitzarve smothered. And it will stay just in play. Warner, Blitzarve's had a follow-up. Great tackle. They want it back for the Cats after the error. Bowes kick. And they get the mark to Stanley.
That's huge from Blitzarve to close up, put his opponent on the back foot, cause the turnover, and then hit it up effectively to Stanley.
Stanley with a long ball. Up inside 50. Dangerfield!
Oh, this has been big from Danger.
He can certainly go the distance, but most importantly for Geelong, he'll take his full allotment of time.
Well, this is his second contested mark inside 50 this quarter. You're looking for a leader's game. There's plenty of people around here. Patrick Dangerfield, outstanding mark. Just needs a point here.
Yeah, he likes shots from distance though. He likes it from distance.
Not good numbers across his career. All rounds his set shot history from this point, from 50 out, and he
That's close.
Out of bounds on the full.
That's still a score review.
They're not going to take it. Certainly could have been entitled to have one.
Absolutely.
Going down the middle of the ground here.
Under 2 minutes to go. Dockers lost one by a point last week. The Cats want a close one. Away they go, Brayshaw. Terrific tackle again. Well done by Myers. Didn't let Brayshaw escape.
Let's have a look at this. On the replay. That's on the full. It's a good call.
Goes right over the top of the post. Minute 40 to play. The drums are beating. The Dockers under the pump. Walker coughed it up. Now it's close. Got Manor in support. Sean Manor. A match winner.
You could hear the drums going. They were beating. Justin Longmuir not happy. They rolled the dice, Freo and Geelong, like they have done all day. They've just been efficient. The pressure, the tackling. It's been elite by Geelong all day. Sean Manor doesn't miss those. Puts it away. That is game. That is game, set and match.
You look at all the major stats in this last quarter, they're all in Fremantle's favour, except inside 50s. That's where the Cats have been able to break it over. Weight of numbers, and how important is that? 1:27 to go, and they sit third on the ladder with 2 winnable games to come, the Cats.
2 coaches know exactly what it means. Geelong powering on in this final turn. Dangerfield has been huge. Leading his side. Long kick. Draper. Drop the mark. Still just over a minute to go. Fremantle cannot waste any time. They need 2 goals. But the Cats looking strong. Stewart a big mark. Switkowski slow to get back to his feet. Then almost the smother. Into the pocket. Stengel waiting down. Warner. Time going to be too much for the Dockers, you'd think. Chapman to Young. Over the top, Brayshaw. Showed too much of it. Stewart overran it. Goes back in again. Young They have to be perfect. And that certainly isn't. Dropped by Frederick. Humphries over the top. Errors late on in this one. Close just hacks it forward. Gains territory. He had a player there. It will be a boundary throw in. With 36 seconds remaining, the Cats by 11.
Well, this is going to take it to number 5 this year. The Dockers leading at three-quarter time and losing. That is what's happening right here, Freo fans. It's another winnable game that they haven't been able to get done when the pressure has been on.
36 seconds to go. Stanley down. Brayshaw. Fremantle free kick. But under 30 seconds remaining now. Brayshaw will switch it up. Trying to find Walker. Stengel putting some pressure on. The Cats have been huge in this final term. They cough up the free kick there, and then it's kicked away. Time wasting. Freo fans wanted a 50.
Yeah, it's big time wasting. Max Holmes gets away with one. They're late. And then they get the 50.
So it will take them up into the scoring zone, but a bridge too far, you'd think, for Fremantle.
He has to kick this and give himself 10 seconds.
Walker is well beyond his range, so he just tees it up. It spills through, crashing out Voss. And now Stewart puts it on the boot. A brilliant performance by Geelong. Away from home, some fighting spirit. Fremantle lose another close one. And if you thought the Cats were done, you are sorely mistaken. Geelong just find a way for Jezza in game 250. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong.
What a week for the Cats. Tom Hawkins announcing his retirement. Jeremy Cameron, game 250, travel to WA and get probably their most important win for the year as they fight for top 4. That is huge from the Cats, led by Patrick Dangerfield. What a last quarter.
2 contested marks he had, Patrick Dangerfield, and his good mates 250 and 7 disposals in the last 2 contested marks, 3 clearances, 2 of those centre bounce clearances. So that is leadership for you, and the efficiency and attack of Geelong is what's made them great as we go down the Kath Lachlan.
Well, I won't exactly repeat what Patrick Dangerfield just said, but you're pretty happy with that win.
So, Kath, yeah, we really set ourselves during the week. We played great footy throughout the season, great contested ball team, and that was sort of the mantra for the week. Let's try and own that part of the ground, which is easier said than done, obviously, but super proud of the guys tonight.
How tough of a win was that? I mean, it felt like a finals game, the pressure and just what was at stake as well.
Well, we know what's at stake. You know, there's no point skipping around it. That's the facts. So we're still going to be good enough for the next 2 games, but it's the top 4 carrot. And just as a 250th, you know, we really prioritise every game, but milestones are special. We don't act like it's not. So to execute over here, super proud.
And the milestone man set the tone at the start of the game. What about his kick, his opening goal?
Oh, not bad. We had the highlights yesterday, and what an incredible highlights package. And that sort of inspired the guys, I think.
I might take a little bit longer to ask my next question because you are huffing and puffing, but you really took responsibility that final quarter, Danger. I mean, as you said, you knew what was on the line. Did you feel that responsibility as a leader to really put this game to bed in the final term?
Well, to be honest, all our guys do, but Tom and my job as like official leaders, we've got 10 guys that are capable of holding the captaincy, of being vice captain. Like, it's title, but we've got such experience across every line, and that stuff can't be underestimated because the guys know what to do, you know, in any scenario given a game, but particularly when it gets tight. And you know, the small wins that you need to make, the setups behind the ball, the ability to trap it inside your forward half. But you can only trap it inside your forward half if you have the structure that underpins that. So, you know, that's our senior leaders that drive that. And they did that again tonight.
One more. How well positioned do you think this team is in terms of how you're playing? We know you're positioned well on the ladder, and now you're up to third, but in terms of how you're playing, a couple rounds out from finals, how well do you think you guys are leading into the Saints and West Coast and then finals?
I feel like tonight was a much improved performance from where we've been. We've been building, pick up against the Dogs. They're probably the form team. The comp, not too many arguments there. And there's been parts of our game that have been good, and there's been parts, last week where the opposition were able to bring it from deep in our forward 50 and score from. So that's an important piece to get right. So we're still chipping away at those things, and it doesn't happen overnight, but we need to build it to when we're humming at the most important time, which isn't far away now.
Okay, go catch your breath. Well done, Danger. Awesome stuff.
I'm not sure what's more impressive, his last quarter or the ability to actually talk through that interview. Somebody get him some oxygen, please. He was struggling, but it just shows how hard the work rate was from the Cats in the last quarter as we go back down to Cathlock.
Well, I've got the milestone man with me. What does that win mean to you in your 250th?
Yeah, it was awesome. To do it over here on the road is nice. Nice to have the family in the stands and whatnot, and have a few of the crew over. So we had to dig deep. They're a really good side. We know that, and it's getting to the pointy end. So a great match all in all.
You mentioned your family. What was it like running out in your 250th and seeing them there at the top of the race?
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice, especially, playing over here. There was actually a fair bit of Geelong in the crowd, which was nice to hear towards the end of the game there. But, to have the family here is really special.
Feel like you're on today at the moment you kicked that opening goal?
Yeah, well, that's about all I did today after that moment. So, it was a good spread right across, and that's important coming into finals.
How big of a win is this, though, to come to Perth, beat the Dockers, and now you've got the Saints and West Coast to finish your third on the ladder?
Yeah, that's it. A few of the Freo boys sort of mentioned it there at the end that anyone can win it this year, so it's important to play well this time of year, and it was a big win. It really was.
Pretty level-headed at the moment. You go and celebrate now?
Oh, yeah, we'll celebrate a little bit, but not too much. We understand, what time of year it is, so, it's nice. We'll might have a few hot chips to celebrate.
Enjoy your chippies there.
Oh, what a performance it was by the Cats, and in the context of the season, they're in the top four with a very big chance of staying there right now, and a chance now to celebrate Brad Johnson, Jeremy Cameron, who's done just about everything in the game and has been shown the respect by both sides, clearly.
Yeah, and well-deserved too. 250 games, sensational player, a great leader, turn a game himself, and deserves all the accolades that come his way. It could be a big year again for the Cats.
Sheepishly being almost going off the field, but they're going to interact with a few of the fans as well. Geelong, a massive win for them. I think everyone thought that they were just about done a few weeks ago, but a huge win on the road for the Cats sets up their tilt at the top four. Wiz in the West over the Dockers.
All right, folks, that's it. That's the game. Game, set, match. And it was the Cats running out victors, 10-13-73, defeating the all-defiant Dockers, who gave it their best shot, 9-8-62. I tell you what, I still thought the Dockers were going to do it, but the Geelong Cats, they just had too much experience. They made the right decisions where it counted, whereas the Dockers, they gave themselves a good chance, but just didn't execute it well enough. Take nothing away from the Dockers' performance. And I'm sure they'll be there at the end. They'll make the finals and they'll do themselves well. They'll learn a few things from this game. Don't worry about that. They were pretty good. It was a great match. It had that grand final feel about this game in the last quarter. If it was Freo, Dockers would have won. Yeah, maybe. But, I think they've still got a couple of weeks. Who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, where they're going to end up on the ladder, because the ladder's still going to get jumbled around for another 2 to 3 weeks. Let's just have a quick look at the AFL ladder. Let me try and reload that, see if it's up there just now. There it is, the AFL live ladder. Geelong have moved up into third position, only 2.6% off second. were on equal points with the Giants on second. Of course, there's Fremantle down in sixth place. Now on 50 points, they're still a game clear inside the top 8, so that's all right. I can't see Essendon drawing back 20% in one game, so they're going to be safe. So all the Fremantle supporters out there tonight, they'll be hoping for Essendon not to win. They'll be wanting the Gold Coast Suns to win that to keep them well and truly secure in the top 8. It's just where they end up. You know, and even if they can't make the top 4, you know, 5th position or 5th or 6th is still good, because that will give them a first week home final. They might drop, but they need to lift up in the next couple of weeks. Let's have a look at the player stats, and we'll just see who the dominating player was on the ground. That was Luke Ryan, 36 touches. Wow, 34 kicks and only 2 handballs, 15 marks, 1 tackle. Oh, he was 8 possessions. He was well clear of Jeremy Sharp with 28, Jordan Clark 28, Corey Wagner 23, and of course the best of the Cats were Graham Myers on 23. There we go. Tell you what, it was a big last quarter from the man himself, Paddy Dangerfield. He did all the bullocking, the running, and he's probably half the reason why the Cats got over the line in today's match in that final quarter. Come on, Crows, Gold Coast and the Hawks, says Paul. I think the Hawks might bounce back, actually. I think they got Adelaide this week, so that's going to be a mighty tough game, I think. Where's the fixture? Oh, no, Adelaide's got the Bulldogs at home. That's going to be a tough game, but I think the Bulldogs will probably win that one. Carlton and the Hawthorn, that's going to be a really tough match. Hawthorn need to win to keep their chance alive. Carlton need to win to keep their chance alive for a top 8. That's going to be a ripper game tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't think I can cover any of the games tomorrow. There you go. But Essendon and the Gold Coast Suns tonight, we want probably want the Gold Coast Suns, all the Fremantle supporters, to win there. So there we go. Just looking down, all your players there. Jager O'Meara with 14. Zach Tui ended up with 13. Banfield with 12. Who else have we got down here? Tyson Stengel actually had a quiet game there for the Cats today. He only had the 7 touches, 4 kicks, 3 marks. 3 handballs, I should say, and 2 marks, 4 tackles. So he had a quiet game. And there are your stats for your players. So there we go. Blixars, he came into the game a little bit in that final quarter with a couple of decent marks, stemmed the tide a little bit. But as I said, take nothing away from Fremantle. They put in one hell of a game. They were pretty good. They were pretty good, if I might say so myself. Caleb Sarong, he was pretty good, wasn't he? He was pretty good there. For Freo with 3 goals with his 22 touches, 6 clearances. He had a great game. Shannon Neal, he had 2 goals with Manor with 2 goals. And, of course, Young, Sturt, Stanley, Myers, Jackson, Henry, Frederick, Dempsey, Dangerfield, Clark, Cameron, a miss, all with singles. The AFL fantasy points. Luke Ryan ended up on top with a good score of 152. If you're on the fantasy points. Jordan Clark, 126. Jeremy Sharp, 112. Caleb Strong, 103. And the rest under 100. There we go. The team stats, just in case you want to have a little bit of a look. Even though the Fremantle dominated that by around 89, 30 kicks plus, and what's that, 59 handballs plus, the Cats got the job done. Inside 50s, both had their chances, as you see, 59 to 49. Disposal efficiency, well, the Dockers are pretty high there, 81%, well above their season's average. Inside 50 efficiency, though, Geelong on top there, the home team. With more free kicks, 19 to 14. The hit-outs, the Cats won that quite comfortably. The clearances, the Cats by 5. Centre clearances, it was pretty well all tied up there, and the stoppage clearances, not much in it there. Contested possessions, pretty even. The Dockers had well and truly 100 more uncontested possessions, and said they just didn't make the right choices when they were at the 60, kicking into their 50. Turnovers, pretty similar, 67, 64. Dockers out, marking the Cats 120 to 87. 2 more marks inside 50 to the Dockers. 9 to 10 in the contested marks. The tackles, Cats tackled a little bit harder there, 58-37. Tackles inside 50. The Cats brought the pressure there, 13 to 8, I should say. The bounces 18 to 7, and of course the 1%ers both doing pretty well there. But that is the final score there for today's game, folks. Fidget 1764. We were the better team, but we got dominated in the stoppages. Ciao for now. Thanks, Paul. Ciao for now. We'll see you in the next game, which is coming up in about 10 minutes, folks. Every time we lose a close game, I blame it on Carlton. Yeah, that's the way. Why not? Carlton's as good as anyone to blame, if we lose a game. We blamed it on Carlton last night as well, the Magpies, even though we didn't play them. But... I think Geelong were just a little bit better in pinpointing their targets going inside 50, whereas sometimes the Dockers were just blazing away, giving themselves no chance, and the defenders were just hanging back there for Geelong. So I think that's one thing that they'll need to work on coming into the next couple of weeks and into the first week of the finals. Ciao for now, says Adrian. Blame it on all clubs. Blame it on the umpires. Blame it on the umpires, I say. Why not? Why not? Of course, the Dockers only putting on 1 goal, 1 in that final quarter, with the Cats putting on 3 goals, 4. So it was a bit of an arm wrestle after half time. Not a great deal of scoring, just the 4 goals, 4 in the second half to the Dockers, and 4 goals, 9 to the Cats. I tell you what. It was a seesawing game. The Cats led the first quarter, Cats led the second quarter, Dockers led the third quarter, and then we thought, hello, the Dockers are coming to within themselves. But then at the final siren, it was the Cats taking this game today, 10-13, 73, defeating the Dockers 9-8-62. 11 points here at Optus Stadium here in Perth. All right, folks, I think that's about all I've got for this game. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. And we did have the poll. Where's the poll? We had 61 votes. We had 52% for the Fremantle Dockers, 47% for the Cats, and 1% for the umpires. There we go. It was pretty close on the poll, but unfortunately the poll got it wrong on this occasion. Maybe next week they'll vote the Dockers and the Dockers will get up next week. But I tell you what, we're in for a cracking last few games of this round, and then we're in for an exciting 2 more rounds of the home and away season before we get into the final series. We all know the final series is a whole different kettle of fish, the way they play with pressure and excitement. That's where it all starts again. All right, folks, thanks all for coming in. That's all I got for this one, and we'll see you in the next one. We'll probably start the next one in about, 5 or 10 minutes. So we'll see you then. Ciao for now.